Let's rock and roll. Okay.
Let's rock and roll!
Sorry, I'm doing spell admin still.
I'm
got a half
doing
hour.
admin for my Indomitus box that I'm
Let's
splitting.
rock and roll! Rock and roll.
Because that arrived recently, Roach.
Nice. So,
I now have to.
last week,
Previously,
our
on Sleeping
our
Dragons.
intrepid adventurers almost died. Multiple times. But in doing so, they were able to succeed in their immediate mission of survival and getting out of there. Their secondary mission of finding the High Prince was less successful, as it seemed that not only was the High Prince not at the area that they decided to sweep, they also immediately murdered the double that
There was
had
no
fooled the-
immediately of murdering, okay?
No, literally, it's like his life switch was flipped when Isaac cast his spell.
I hit him for 30
He
damage.
fried his soul.
I hit him for 30 damage, and he's probably a peasant with about 10, so I three times killed him. Like,
Yeah, it's just,
Not good.
he went from a full living person to a corpse just immediately.
Happened.
Yeah.
The
Not
weekend
only
ain't
did
gone
you
by,
kill
innit?
the double, but you also killed a lot of Dominion troopers and a single Draco Rider. One got away.
No, there was
No?
2 Draco
No.
Riders. One got killed, the other one got captured. He's on the back of a horse.
we
What
have
happened
one.
to the third one? What happened to the
No.
third one? Because there were three. There were 3 in the combat.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
third
forward.
was forward. The
Who
third one was
ran
forward.
from the fight, the coward!
No, I know Woolard was there. I made the encounter. I made the
In
that's
which
the point
case,
of the encounter.
you forgot about an entire Draco Rider. We
Did
got
you
one.
accidentally delete one?
Oh no, there was just 2. There was just 2.
Yeah.
No, there was just 2. Okay, so you killed one, and the other one succeeded in not dying, but got captured because
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one got like frozen by Sesh going, hell
'Cause
no,
you're-
motherfucker.
because every single one of you were just sadists to this man. We left off out of the combat. You gathered yourselves. It took 2 of you a lot longer than the others to gather yourselves because of the distance necessary to travel. But you all regathered and decided that you're just gonna get out. You're just gonna get right out of that area because it did not seem to be very good to stay around. And you also decided to travel overnight, taking a point of exhaustion, before finally sleeping the night afterwards. So you've had quite a journey for the last few days, which I need to remember to mark down on the calendar, which I think I did. So it should be 2 days after that. So
You've had a long rest.
Yeah. yeah, so you've all had a long rest. You were most likely going to get to Pavers in the next day at this point. So what do you all want to do?
Well,
Well, we
You're
said we
prisoner,
were going
by
to
the
get
way.
to Pavers
We were
and
going to
find
speak
Vogue,
to the dead.
and then speak to the dead, the dead corpse we got rid of, who was the prince's body double, and interrogate the soldiers
You're carrying a
captured.
corpse of the
Yes,
double. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
because we were going to talk to him, do Voice of the Dead, find out, where the High Prince was.
if we can.
How
Oh
are you
my
storing
God.
the body?
We've got respectfully got like a sheet over him. He's on
Oh,
my horse.
he's decomposing.
Also cast Gentle Riposte, so he's no longer.
Oh, this isn't for the
decomposing.
decomposing.
It's not Gentle Riposte, by the way. It's
Okay.
Gentle Repose, just to be.
Yeah, because a riposte is a fencing move.
Yes.
So
Parry,
you are
parry,
gentle
thrust,
repose on
thrust.
the corpse every so often, to keep it fresh. Though you do notice that after your night's sleep, it is missing a hand, and is a little ragged at the edge of where the hand was, as if it had been bitten off in the middle of the night by some carrion that had
Well,
found it.
we're taking guard.
Well,
Yeah,
the only
I just
thing right,
rolled. I just rolled for the carrion, and
Honestly, with Isaac's perception, it probably happened.
and to be entirely honest, it
my little
doesn't matter.
coyote got in there. It didn't
It
matter.
honestly doesn't matter because all I need is like a skull
head.
with a jaw. That's it.
Yeah. No, the
So-
jaw. You don't even need the jaw, really.
Pretty sure it says I need the jaw in the spell listing. Yeah.
Either way, yeah, missing a hand now. It's been, and it's kind of after a while. It does take a lot more effort to keep crows and such away from the horse carrying it after a while. But either way, yeah, you were trying to get to Pavers. You've been told by various individuals that there was supposedly an encampment that had been set up, and Haslid, Vo, to the general of the Fourth Order, had been telling various retreating military units to just gather there.
But he gets
So-
blamed for losing the city.
So,
As we're going along, Mog's just going to say, I understand that we need to talk to the general and do everything else, but after that, can we talk? Because we need to figure out what our options are, and at the moment we don't know them all.
Find Vorrid, kill him.
That's
Go
one.
home.
Have the peace.
Oh,
wasn't successful expedition, but job done.
Yes. Pretty much.
also, Roach, I just wanted to point out the way you said Draco at the beginning, it made me think of Draco because you put a little bit of a.
Well, Well, hey,
Draco.
you know
so
them.
they became Draco, right?
Yeah, you know them.
You know,
That means we can scry on them because
We know that.
everyone knows Draco. Right?
You've been scrying on Volrid for the past 2 months.
I know. Everybody knows him.
And it's basically the only thing you've gotten is that he's very into sword care.
He loves taking care of his sword.
Yeah.
He's handy with it too.
That is. By the way, I am still never going to forgive you, Midge, for not getting. Well, I guess you wouldn't have gotten the pun that I was trying to tell in that tweet last night when I said I wanted a Hussar type jacket. I said they look damn sharp.
Yeah, I got that.
oh.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
ignoring
Thank
it,
you,
by the way.
Atari.
Got it
Thank you,
instantly.
Atari.
I
thank
thought you
Atari.
were just, using old-timey descriptors.
I mean that too. It has a double meaning because yes, it
Like-
looks sharp.
That's the
But-
point.
Yeah, yeah. But
I want to kill
So-
you.
So, I may or may not have been on NyQuil when I decided that would be a fun thing to tweet.
I only gave it
20.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what? So you're riding along, yeah. Are you doing anything throughout the day? How do you have, by the way? How do you have the Draco Rider?
I have him like
Oh,
face
it's
down
prayer
over the back
hands.
of my horse.
Prayer hands, so he can't use
Yeah.
his little finger dingies. And we've got something stuffed in his mouth, and it's tied across so he can't be talk.
Yeah.
And basically blindfolded. And he's got some straps on here.
Yeah, he has a pair of my
It's-
socks.
And
If
really
he-
leering
If he was
over
in a
him.
different setting, he would be making a lot of people very happy right now.
That's one ballsy elf right there.
Yeah, it looks like he's been to the madam. Let's just say that.
So
he had a visit with a good
uh,
madam, you know.
So if you're,
The
if
house
you're
of
planning,
alternative healing.
Sensual healing, if you will.
So, gonna stomp on that quickly. So, if you're not doing anything else with your travel, it goes fairly uneventful for the better part of the day. You have gone through Pavers before.
Yeah.
if you remember, because you had to pass by it to get
We
to
had to send
the
some
ambush
cash.
location.
This is where we
Yes.
sent cash, so we've been to the guild hall here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you don't get to Pavers before you see something new along this road. Maybe about a half mile inland from the road. You see a large area that has been cleared of forest. That has been cleared of wood and various other things. And looks to have like a haphazard, not palisade, but more the sharpened logs on a 45 angle kind of setup.
Cavalry.
There's no full wall around, and there's a haphazard array of tents and various groupings. Nothing's very ordered except for a small part near the center of this encampment. From what you can see, it's not on a rise. It's more on a low area next to the road that kind of leads into it. But it doesn't look like it's a drainage area. It looks like it just kind of like it's on the edge of a valley that goes down. So it's not very muddy. But you see various little bits of smoke coming up from fires here and there. And it's moderately sized. It's not humongous. Maybe just shy of 2,000 people would be inside of here. It's over about a mile or more area that has been cleared out, from what you can see. Very loose, kind of like tight packs here and there, but overall very loosely populated. Yeah, that's what you see from the road. What do you all want to do?
Do we see any guards?
Or do we see anyone we recognize?
Anyone at all?
It's about. You look out. Since there's no full wall, there's no real guard post that you can see. There looks to be like a few work parties that are at the edge of the forest that still stands, and they seem to be cutting trees down and making like big lots of firewood and carrying it back on their backs. You don't see any cavalry or any oxen or animals around. Just kind of, it's all being manually done. You don't see, from where you're at, you don't see anybody that like jumps out at you. Not even Ustenia. But they all look to be military troopers of some sort, various different uniforms, all from the dynasty, but just various different orders. It looks like.
I ride up to a guard. Well,
That's the
up
point.
to
You don't see any
someone in
guards.
uniform. Up to someone in uniform.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you see a spindly, long-haired, kind of gray individual, got a spear resting against their little pup tent, and going, what?
Is General Vogue stationed here?
How would I know?
Excellent question. Who would know?
Officers' countries over that way, and he points to some of the larger tents, like in a big tight knit near the center of the camp.
Thank
Might
you,
be able to find it
appreciate
there.
Thank you.
5 silver says he dies first.
I'm
No,
not
bear.
taking that bet. 'Cause he's definitely
Someone
gonna
like
die
that survived the fleeing of the city. That's someone with survival skills.
Nah, he's already been here. This man was stationed in the city.
Or he was stationed here.
Yeah.
Ah, true.
He's a country bumpkin guard who just happened to be called in because he's a veteran.
first. To the big tents.
To the big tents.
To the important people.
I
Away.
could have told you to go to the big tents if you just ask me. Most important person always have most biggest tent.
He has a point. It is his culture.
That's true.
So, you head in.
Very appropriating his culture.
So you head into the encampment, deeper into it. That was like an outskirt, a group of like 4 or 5 tents, kind of on the outskirts. But as you go in, you definitely tell it's a mix of a lot of different units, and it's also a mix of people. You can see some that probably looked like they were at Stunlass when the attack happened, or at least at the peninsular forts when the attack occurred. Just from their very state of undisciplinedness, just like they look like they've been through a ringer. There's also a little section you pass by of the encampment that looks to be just a sawbones area, currently dealing with various.
Sesh, if you want to go over, we can. meet you
She
later.
was like about to say something and then she goes.
We'll meet you later.
If you need me, call me.
Will do.
You're the one that can do that. We don't have the ability.
Just yell, I'll hear
Throw
you.
the broken, throw the broken
literally
stone at
walk
it.
To there.
For this interrogation with the dead person?
No, you have scrolls that do that. You have scrolls of speak with dead. But you can just yeet something, or you can just yell, I'll hear you.
Sesh. Before you go, put tongues on one of us.
Me!
Not him.
Mark.
Actually, no. I actually vote Rivallon. He did the best with. He did the best with.
That's right, yeah.
Sedna.
Alright, boop.
So-
There you go. You have it now.
Sala.
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 Setna is the pirate.
Pirate.
Sala is the
He did also do the
Sedna is
best
the
with
pirate.
Sedna, to be fair.
Sala is the hot one.
Well, no, they're both Elvish, so. Or at least half Elvish.
Sala is the hot one.
Oh, fair enough.
So okay, so who's getting the tongue?
Rivallon. Boop. You have it now. Congrats.
All right.
How
So
useful.
You continue heading into the encampment and get towards the center. The closer you get, the more organized it looks, and there's like a little ring of organization around the officers' tents. And it's almost exclusively those areas are Fourth Order uniforms, from what you've gathered of the various iconography of the dynasty's military. But they don't look like they were at the fighting. They look like they've been here for a while from the state of their camp within the camp. It's not a large contingent, but it's a contingent that might have been sent here to set things up ahead of time. But when you approach, you see the first kind of organized guard outfit kind of patrolling around the officer's tent, keeping the riffraff away. It's 2 Fourth Order troopers who were walking with some pikes. And when you approach, they hail you. What do you need?
Is General Vogue stationed here?
No, we haven't heard from General Vogue. He was in Stunlass.
Who's in charge at the moment, please?
His adjutant, Darlin.
Would you tell
Dario.
Adjutant Darlin that the Turquoise Company are here, please? He will want to see us.
All right.
Thank you.
One of them heads off while the other one just kind of stands nearby you to make sure you don't steal things.
Do we look like we're going to steal anything?
Looks at Rivallon. Looks at Estina.
I know he's dressed like one, but he's not a rogue.
Listen, these guys are heavily
Can I
racist.
just-
We know this.
Can I just check one thing? You've got your hood up, haven't you?
Yeah.
You haven't got full pointy elf ears on full display at the moment,
No.
because that might upset some people.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
I always have my hood up.
I figured as much.
I also assumed you
Right.
had long hair, so they're kind of hard to see anyway.
as you
I
walk
am
through
not
the,
Legolas.
by the way, as
It could be.
Armed like him.
standing a distance away from your group, not directly getting nearby, you start getting a little train of individuals that look like they're the ones that probably have come here from the attack itself, and they're staring very intently at the one horse carrying a uniformed gentleman that you've got tied up. They're not. It hasn't turned into a riot or anything, but there's just a general murmur through the camp as you
Oh, because yeah, we've got a Draco rider.
We've got a
You've
prisoner.
got a prisoner.
He was on my horse, so I'm assuming I
He's
tossed him
been-
to somebody.
You gave him to Rivallon because
For God's
Rivallon's got
sake.
tongues.
Catch.
But yeah, it hasn't turned into a riot, but he's been noticed. But in the time that you wait awkwardly with the one guard, a gentleman that you recognize comes out. You've met this man before, the young human man who was or who is Hazlitt's adjutant, Darlin Lario, who looks to be just as well off as you last saw him. He's where his uniform's
It was a-
clean. The uniform's clean and properly pressed. He has shaved. He does look tired, a little bit more tired than you last saw him, but he comes out on foot.
I jump
and,
off my horse.
Waves you down.
Do the same. I dismount.
I stay on mine.
I do
Although I'm
too.
moving myself between the body and the growing thing of people.
All right. So you're facing away from the adjutant.
More kind of side on.
Okay. So he comes out to you and kind of gives you a wave before opening. Saying, well, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see somebody else made it out.
We bring a prisoner, we bring news, and we bring information. Can we speak?
Yes, come to my tent. And he starts leading you deeper into the tents. The guards leave you behind as you walk or ride into kind of the little net of larger tents, and not the largest one, but one of the more one of the ones that looks to have been here for the longest. There's a little bit of seasonal grass that has grown around some of the poles.
Yeah, I'm making sure to tack my horse close to the tent because it does have a dead body on it.
We should bring
Oh, I'm dragging him with me.
Yeah, bring the prisoner in.
and the body.
Does he have a hood
Oh, yeah.
on, by the way, or is he his eyes on like
His eyes
We
are on show.
blindfolded him.
Oh no, we blindfolded him. That's
Yeah, we
Okay,
blindfolded
okay.
him, gagged him, tied him up, and made sure he had absolutely
I mean,
no
I
way of
knew-
using any magic whatsoever to do anything untoward that we didn't want him to do.
These guys have been burnt before. I wasn't there.
yeah.
got it.
We also
we
broke
learned
every
our lesson
single one of
from
his
Liban.
fingers. We broke every single one of his fingers and his toes.
No,
just to
no.
be sure.
We didn't break fingers. They just bound so tightly that he can't. That they
Yet.
would,
Yeah.
if he
Uh,
tried,
he-
he might. Just how tight they are.
So you were led into his tent. It's a fairly Spartan kind of little tent. It's got a little sleeping cot, a large table in the center with some chairs sprinkled around here and there. It looks to have a lot of written reports on. It's not stereotypical, just the map in the center of the general's tent. It has a lot of clerical kind of paperwork in the center on the
A lot of
table.
log sledges.
Yeah, a lot of that. There's some correspondence here and there that you can kind of see. And it's stacked and clean, but he pushes it off to the side, not off the table, just off the side, so you got more room. He settles down. You wanted to speak? Well, this is about as private as you're going to get here.
Understandable. Well, firstly, last we heard from General Vogue was 3 days ago. We sent him a message after he sent us on a mission. He sounded...
I've heard more recently than that, so that's good.
That's good.
Sent
he
a
on his way
message on
here?
He sent a message on a rider about 2 days ago. He was stopping off at the peninsular fortresses to try and help slow down the advance for a time, and then he was going to be taking who he could back here.
What do we know of the rest of the leadership of the army and of the country itself?
Well, we have 3 generals in this camp.
Is one of them
From
an idiot?
the I will not speak. I am by general military courtesy not able to speak about higher officers in the presence of
Is-
strangers.
We, however, are not strangers. You have met us before.
I meant non-military. No, the commanders of the 8th, 15th, the 8th and the 15th orders are here, as well as a general from the 20th order, but his order technically doesn't exist right now as it is a training order, and it's mostly dispersed around the country.
It marches on paper, Your Highness. Ah, yes, on paper. Ooh, wouldn't want to do that.
A Hadron pay 300.
So, if when the general returns, they would be subordinate to him because that's how the order system works, correct?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, you're no. Specifically, a high general must be appointed by the current ruling monarch of the clan dynasty to have dominion over other orders, so that the individual orders are not strong enough to have any potential ability to overthrow the centralized government. So,
Any word on the emperor?
High
You-
Prince.
High Prince, sorry. Fuck, I've just been writing about an emperor. High Prince, at all, because that was part of our mission.
the most up-to-date message I received was from General Vogue, and it did not say anything about the current ruler or leadership. I would assume, though, given the fact that they were all in a single area, and from reports from a few of the active, or from the reports of the few that have reached here from the attack on Sunlas, it was hit quite a few times directly by whatever weapons they use. I wouldn't hold out much hope for that, but we'll have to figure that out as the
Well,
time comes.
we were sent to aid the Crown Prince's convoy, which was seen being attacked, and it was, in fact, a decoy convoy. So there is
The
hope that
The High
Crown
Prince, the High Prince and his decoy travel in a singular convoy, in two identical carriages, so that no one can know which one is the High Prince specifically, if it were to be targeted.
Well, we know the decoy was killed, as we have his body here. We do not know the whereabouts of the High Prince.
Well, we did find 2 carriages.
yes, and no signs of the High Prince.
No sign.
And also,
whatsoever.
we managed to beat back the attacking force before they found the High Prince, because our arch rival, the Dragon Rider by the name of Volran,
War's only been going on for 3 days. You already have an arch rival? Good
Oh,
on
we
you.
Oh,
fought him before.
We've had previous.
we I'm not sure how much the general has informed you, but we knew this attack was coming, and we knew that the enemy was who the enemy were, because we've been fighting them for about 4 months now. 4 or
I'm
5
one
months.
of the individuals who was given direct access to the
Okay.
weapon that you gave us for study and reproduction. So I am up to date on the information, or as much as
Oh.
he has shared.
With regards to supplies, we have more of those weapons. We have no more ammo, though.
Oh, that's good. A curious gnomish man was sent here by Vogue. He said to
Wonderful.
go here instead of staying.
He's
he's
the
been-
man in charge of the reproduction of these firearms. So
He has been. Well, maybe you can deal with him. He's been difficult. So,
Yes.
We have made acquaintance already with him.
good. I was sent here before the attack to construct this encampment, along with a detachment of the 4th's troops, as a regroup point. I confess I have not been able to fix a lot of problems we are currently encountering, and I'm hoping that we can get things together before Vogue arrives. He wishes to reform a fighting force from this encampment to force an engagement before the enemy are able to force one themselves. The specifics are in his head, of course. But if you are you planning on staying?
We are
Yeah.
not sure. We would really like to speak to the general. It's a shame that he's not here because, as we said, we have a prisoner, and we were hoping to interrogate them in the general's presence.
Them?
It's the correct pronoun to use. If you are not sure of someone's gender.
Well, you said you only had a single.
Yes,
Single.
you prefer
I was assuming
they or them, unless
Oh,
they tell you the correct gender. It's something where I'm from. It's we don't pronoun
Right.
people, and
Okay.
we're sure. But
Well,
we'd also
I
like to speak
can-
to the fallen body double of the High Prince, see if he knows any more.
I thought he was dead.
Yes, we have the
What
power
is-
to do that.
can get
Our
around
cleric, our cleric is currently helping with the other sawbones in the medical area, but we have ways
Hopefully
to
not in
talk.
the same school of magic as that one. Hopefully not with less necromantic influence on that help.
She is a woman of many skills.
Yes.
What is light
all
without
right.
dark?
Right. So,
Saturday?
if you would prefer to wait for the interrogation until General Vogue arrives, we can. I can have a couple of my men go and construct a secure location for you to keep your prisoner.
Would it be secure from the men guarding? There was some eyes on our prisoner.
Well, my men didn't
outside.
encounter those enemies, so they don't have a inbuilt
Understood.
hatred for them currently. So I could have them directly guard them for that time.
It would
and-
be most appropriate to ensure that people know that killing this prisoner would be more harmful for the cause because they may possess vital information.
If it makes you
It should be a good morale booster that we have captured this person, so that they may be shamed in their failure, and we may be risen up in morale by our victory.
Well, my friend, that is a very logical argument. Unfortunately, soldiers are not always very logical.
I know about this.
Yes. So, if it makes you feel any better, the more secure location could be. We could send him to Pavers themselves and put him in the jailhouse that exists in Pavers, and under lock and key by the local reeve.
Is there any way of do they hold any means of holding someone of magical means? This
It's
soldier-
uncommon for a mage to have to be arrested, but it's not unheard of. It
this
could be
particular
done.
soldier has the ability to.
If it makes you feel even better, I could send a few of my men with this prisoner into Pavers for direct observation.
I think that would be.
If it
the
makes you
wise.
feel better, and the easiest would be just to have him imprisoned in the encampment.
I think. What do you guys think? Out of character.
As long as they're
talking, what do-
properly guarded,
I
don't
mean,
think
if
it should be an
we're staying,
issue.
We can guard.
Yeah, if we're staying, we can guard, but we don't know if we're staying yet.
No.
Are we going to stay?
I'll
for the
stay.
Do you? No. Okay. Right. We'll keep him here for now. I believe
I'll have
myself.
a few of my men begin constructing a wooden cage for him.
Okay,
Make
that
sure
works.
his hands stay bound.
That
And-
is a requirement for a prisoner.
I mean, his literal.
We have him
He
currently in
can't
a
use his fingers. He should not be able to use his fingers, otherwise.
to
I'm sure a
eliminate
few
the
of our
semantic
men have some
burden.
winter mittens they can put on him and tie down onto his wrists to keep them.
Basically, if he uses his hands, he might be able to escape because magic. It's-
And his mouth.
Does he have an arcane focus with him? You should probably take that away from him. because that would severely decrease his ability to cast spells.
We've taken
Yes.
everything that may be his arcane focus away. And
Well,
given
that's
it
a good first step. It would be like if you took a druid-based caster and placed them on the bare earth. That
There's a reason that I myself carry multiple arcane focuses and have the ability to use my own soul as an arcane focus.
Wow.
It's
Called the fuck out.
I'm never gonna let you live that down. This is druid. Just put him on the dirt. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't involved in that decision making.
Finds a
process.
stick, casts a spell with the stick.
Yeah, I'd like to make it clear, I was not involved in the decision making process
no.
of how we bound them.
It doesn't matter. You're part of it. You're a part of this. You're a part of it.
you ride with us. You're a part of the problem.
So,
Yep.
all right. I'll have them construct that. Is there anything else you wish to talk on? We have most of the day left.
Adjutant, is there any...
It's technically
Okay.
lieutenant, by the way. Adjutant is my position within the order. Lieutenant is my rank in the
Apologies,
military.
Lieutenant. Do
you.
you know whether there's any arcane shops within Pavers?
Not a one.
Wonderful. Any bookshops?
Bookshop? I honestly don't know.
Libraries?
Left.
I admit I've only been here for about a week.
Okay, thank you.
Lieutenant, you mentioned you're having some problems at the camp. Is there anything that, if we did stay, that we would be able to help with?
There's a few items that we're having some trouble currently housing the troops we do have, and what we expect to house in the future, because we did not have enough time or funds to set it up in time. The four major ones are firewood, is the warmth for the men. Most units that got here were piecemeal. They weren't a singular formation, so they don't have a hierarchy they've reformed. It's been very difficult because technically I hold no rank over anyone that is not in the fourth order. So they're self-contained units, the orders. So I technically have no rancor or ability to influence them. So they've been basically doing their own thing in terms of gathering firewood, which means we've been having some trouble with certain units having more than their fair share of wounded. So they don't have enough manpower to gather their own firewood. So we haven't been able to formulate a rotation or a schedule or a plan for that. So that's currently causing some trouble. There's a current.
Was the invasion
Ross?
limited to an attack on Stonelass, or has there been other sites of combat throughout the dynasty?
Oh well, yes, not fully. There's some of those black dragons that they seem to use have spotted here and there, strafing down various random individuals along roads and areas in towns within about, I would say, 30 or 40 mile radius
What's the
around.
biggest group of dragons that's been seen? Is it just ones and twos?
Yes. It's singular mostly, actually. I don't think there has been a pair spotted. It's just been
Oh,
a
trust me, we saw a pair earlier on.
seemingly random number of attacks just occurring.
No.
So-
Okay. So, if I remember correctly, there was 7 when we fought Borrid the first time, and he is of the 3rd Draco Rider contingent. I can't remember what the unit size. So that we know there's at least 3
We need to check
groups.
this guy's hat. Because Salah's uniform had...
Rival, you can read it currently, can't you? Because you've
Yeah.
He can
read
speak
it.
it.
You can read it.
Yeah. Put both of them together, you have a whole elf. You have a whole Dominion elf. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
Read it.
other than the firewood,
Elf life.
medical situation's a little bit touchy right now. We don't have
You
as many
now
surgeons
have
or
an
doctors.
excellent medic there.
That's
She will
Ready.
be
That's
in the
good.
middle order.
There's been the local church of what is that? Elonia has been helping. A few of their holy women have been coming out to help, but it's not enough, and we only have about 2 surgeons. actually working in the medical tent. So if any of that can be helped, that would be amazing. Food is not doing so well.
How do you spell that god?
That is Echo Hotel, Lima, Oscar, November Alpha.
We have a couple of excellent hunters, and
Yes.
also the medic can make food.
Well, that's good. We've been trying to barter with Pavers itself, but the funds that I was provided to set up the encampment have ran out 2 days ago, and we have not been able to. They will not allow us to use their food stock unless we have promised to recuperate in money, so they can buy their own food from merchants to survive the winter.
I understand
rest
their
of the
point.
winter.
If the winter is coming, and in theory,
Winter's
possibly
been here.
a war.
Winter, well, as they say, winter
White Walkers.
isn't coming. It's been here for a while, actually. But
I'm
whatever.
from a much colder climate.
yes. And the other one is that we haven't had enough time to construct enough space, organized space for the encampment itself, for the future residents of this encampment. More of the forest needs to be cut back. More defenses need to be placed down. More work crews need to be organized to do so. Again, I have a very limited number of men at my direct control, and the other generals. Well, I just won't say anything about them since I can't say anything negative.
They're
Outwardly.
being idiots is what you're trying to say, without actually saying because you're a military man and you won't say that out loud.
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
Yeah, okay.
We understand, Lieutenant. We are here to aid you in any way we can.
That
We
would
will
be,
stay until the general
Those four
at least
areas
arrives.
are the major ones that are currently our problem.
Well, I can go and
others may
blast some
arise when I
trees.
figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. According to Hasland or General Vogue.
Well, Rivallon, Estinia, do you want to go and see if you can find food within the woods?
Da.
What he said.
Quick
So-
thing. Rivallon is the only one here who has tongues cast on him. Maybe you shouldn't go
we're
yet.
not going to interrogate because the
Until
general's
Vogue.
not here.
Yes,
Ah.
But
Right
then,
then.
cast it on me again.
It's in a couple of days though. It's not going to waste a spell slot for you.
Yeah.
Nah, fair enough. I can use the other spells for other things. It's fine.
You're really enjoying those hard knuckle gloves, aren't you, Mikey? Because
I bought these yesterday, and they're so nice. I love them. I wore them to work today, and my friends were like, "Hey, are you gonna beat the shit out of someone?" I'm like, "Probably." They sound great, and also I punched the wall with them, and I didn't feel it. I'm like, I can punch so hard with these things. It's so great. I love them.
Those are,
And they
those
were
are
only
basically
like 19 euros for these. They're so nice.
Yeah, those are basically when I played Airsoft, that was basically you had to have those because it sucked to get hit in the knuckles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And those are hard knuckled.
Yeah, these
gloves,
are
I like
the
them.
hard plastic ones.
Yeah.
Lieutenant, I'm good at talking to people, and so is Isaac. So, if you need anyone to help you convince people, just let us know. But at the meantime, I'm going to go and help Sesh with the wounded.
Fine. If you need a place to stay, there's plenty of
We can set
open
up our
areas.
own tents if there's open areas.
Plenty of open areas. I'll give word to you. I'll have somebody give word to you when we have the wooden cage set up for your prisoner.
I appreciate it.
Have you been? Do you need food or water or anything? We have some stores.
We all
if
have
you'd
our
like.
own rations, and we have
All right.
our very own Sesh.
Am I going to be Are we going to be responsible for feeding your prisoner, or is that going? Are you taking
we
head
we will
on
feed
that?
our prisoner and water
Okay.
him because there
Thank you.
should be a magic user available because in case he starts to verbally do anything whilst being fed. So we need to be
Alright.
able to counter that, which we can.
Good to know.
But we'll
Counter
be
that with a
around-
headbutt. I grab him.
It's been a very, I hope, been a very what's the word? I just really blanked on the word. It's been a very productive, very productive meeting.
He's like,
Was
finally
happy to
something
be of
happening.
assistance. Right. If you want to, actually,
Rivallon wants to kill something.
Isaac can stay here with the prisoner. He can do
yes, Isaac can stay here with the prisoner. He's also possibly, if anyone's our leader, it's him. So he can stay here.
that. T-posing. Yep.
T-posing!
The second that any of us leave, our characters just slip into T-posing forms.
But we are going to. I'm going to go and see Sesh. These two are going to try and find some food. How are you for fresh water?
Got plenty of water. Plenty of water. Water's not a problem.
I will require manpower to get organized for hunting. If we're going to be feeding a couple
All I can promise you is the few men that I have direct command over.
That would be fine. But
Problem
two
is
people
they're
alone
currently
will not
trying
keep
to
us
get
up.
as much firewood so people don't die at night.
Good point. But two
If you can
people
round
alone.
up your own from the rest that aren't currently doing anything, because I can't directly order them.
Has anyone?
I think I
arrived
can
from-
convince them.
Has anyone arrived from Stunlaus? Because we sent a few people here ourselves.
Quite a few, though most of them from the very early parts of the engagement. They mostly
Okay.
just speak of the bombardment, or they were at the wall when the peninsula fortress when the refugees started coming, and they just decided to leave. We haven't been persecuting anyone for running without orders due to our current situation.
Have you seen any of them that are carrying these and hold up one of the muskets?
No, I haven't. We did have a unit armed with them that were in
Yes.
Stunlass. I'm assuming they either died there or began to
No.
retreat.
No, we sent them here.
All right, then they. When did you leave, Stunlass? Did you ride through the night?
One night, yes.
And you probably got there ahead of them, because if they're mostly on foot, they would be one, slower than you, and two, they would be probably not able to push on as far during the night, so they would just camp. So they might be here sometime later, I would assume.
So, Isaac, if you're going to stay here with the prisoner and the lieutenant, I'm going to go and help Sesh, and Rivallon and Ustinia are going to gather some people together and get food. That's what we've got in place. Just letting you know in case you phased out
Nope,
for what
sounds-
Blanked out during that.
In case you went like this for a while.
I just had to T-pose. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm back now.
No, just had to go and put on the Christmas
Isaac
jumper
was
is
just
what you
really
had to do.
enraptured in it. He had a
I've been wearing
math
the
equation.
jumper the entire time.
I didn't see the Christmas jumper before now.
Okay. Okay.
It's that new angle, Midge. We don't have enough. We don't get enough visual
only-
input.
Right, so break.
No, not the break in the session. Just
No, I know.
yeah.
No, I
Football
know.
break.
Yeah. I was the only thing I'm gonna do is no, I think that actually covers it. I will offer my ability to help with session
Well-
if they really need it. I have
No, you're
magic.
guarding the prisoner.
You're guarding the prisoner, I'm helping Sash.
But I have healing magic.
Yes, but you also have the ability to counterspell anything he tries to do if he manages to get
So
free
do
or
I
anything.
now.
That's just Mark now.
Okay, in which case, Mog, you're staying with the prisoner. It's too
Mog,
late.
I'll stay with the Okay, fine. I'll stay with the prisoner and the lieutenant. So if he needs to talk to anyone, as long as one of the charisma-based people is with the lieutenant.
Should I just let you all work through this?
We've worked through it. Isaac, Sesh,
Doesn't sound like it.
the killer dude.
Dash
and
is
me.
just like, ears are burning right now.
I'm still limited in healing, so I'll cycle in with you as well, just to make sure.
The religious kids are together. The killer boys are
Rivallon
together.
wants to kill
I'm on my own.
things.
Go kill some animals, skin them, made some meat. Have a good time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rivallon's one of those vampires that isn't allowed to eat people.
Yes.
I am Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Or what's that kids movie with like the family of vampires that he drinks cow's blood, whatever that one is.
No, I ain't got that
From
one.
like the
Sorry.
90s. No, from the 90s. It's like from the 90s.
Thank God you said it. Sorry,
It was
that
from the
first
90s.
thing I thought of.
It was way back in the 90s, and it wasn't like shitty fan fiction written by somebody. So,
If you don't know, Stephanie Meyer was actually a fan fiction writer and just adapted one of her stories, which was Twilight.
Yep. It's 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction.
Yep. Which says a lot. It says a lot that makes that series make a lot more sense.
It does. It really does.
It really does.
Anyway, what's Sesh been doing this whole time?
You've been dealing with wounded people. Depends up to you whether or not you want to use
I can use some like
spells.
I'll use spells
for
if there's
it's
enough
a lot.
people.
The thing is, it's not a lot of. There's kind of like two categories: wounded and dying, that they've got set up here.
Here's the thing, right? I can use mass healing word 6 times, and each mass healing word heals 6 people for 1d4 plus 11.
So you're just Florence Nightingale, but like better, because you're
Just walking through people, just boom. Everyone's better. Just a single word in Draconic.
Explosion of healing.
Yes.
Just an explosion of healing.
Carpet bombing health.
Yeah.
Whereas all I can do is Jesus touch people, the better, you know?
Yes, Centurion, I'm Spike Alas.
So, mostly what you're dealing with is there's not a lot of combat wounds. There's a lot of wounds relating to like
Shrapnel.
the retreat and shrapnel. So there's a couple of people that look to have trample wounds from just being trampled by running individuals. There's a couple of people that definitely fell from horses from the explosions spooking their horses. There's a lot of lacerations and stuff. So it's pretty standard. I'll say you don't have to use your you don't have to use any of your magic to help with this. It's
So I have
standard stuff.
I also have
You're
a
also
plus
level
9
11,
medicine.
which
I
at
have a
this
plus
point,
9 in medicine, so my passive medicine is a 19.
Yeah, you have like you're a level 11, right? You guys have level 11.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a level
Which means
9 cleric, level 2 paladin.
Which means in the scale of D&D, you're able to take on like demigods. So as a party of 6, so as a party of 5, you're at this point it doesn't really basic cuts and scrapes are kind of just beyond. You're below your level of interest.
People who are like seriously close to dying, she'll use a mass healing word on, but otherwise it's just like, all right, you have like a laceration.
The people that are close to dying, they're not actually. It's not combat wounds and stuff, etc. It's you're told by one of the surgeons, one of the military surgeons here, that it looks like there's a fever going around the encampment because of the dampness and close quarters, and they haven't been able to.
Did I roll a medicine?
Control. Go ahead and roll medicine. Yeah, why not?
26.
Okay. Just give me a second here.
She's like, Turns out it's like smallpox.
Out. Let's get out. Out now.
I've cured disease. We're fine.
Let's give me 1 second here. It's
Pretty sure he is resistant to diseases, or is he not? He's not that type of barbarian. No, it's monks that get resistant to
He's
diseases.
not that type of barbarian.
Yeah. I also, if I took a level of paladin, I would have been immune to diseases at this point, but I didn't.
Oh
so.
no! Oh no!
Oh yes.
Oh yeah!
I need to keep an eye on my streaming for a moment as well, just because my streaming software says it's not responding.
Uh-oh.
What's
That's not good.
What level's cure disease?
Like 2, 3, I
Correct.
think.
Fuck.
Oh, lesser restoration. That's the one. It's level 2. It can it just touch a creature and you can either end one disease or one condition. So the disease just ends if I touch a person and use that spell.
Got it.
So technically it's level 2. But greater restoration does more. I think it's just like undo a
Rivals is
debilitating
off as well,
effect.
Midge.
Rivals just went off as well.
His is
Did
lagging.
you say?
Yeah, mine's lagging for some reason.
My program just full not responded, which was
Oh, you're still live though, Midge. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're dead.
Dead.
He did.
He did. We got 6 concurrent viewers on YouTube for me though.
Woo!
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's it looks like it's a fairly common but debilitating disease that goes around every winter in damp climates. It's called the
Blue.
it's called the well, the thing I had here from a random generator was just the fall flu, but that sounds very generic. But yeah, just the fall flu that runs through everybody. So it's a thing we're going through.
So she's just going to like take the red cloth that she has tied to one of her horns and tie them across. So now she has the red cloth tied across the front of her face essentially, and wrapping around her mouth and say, "Show me to where the sick men are."
Yeah, no, they're in the same tent as you.
You fucking idiot!
Say it is a one.
You
it's a
not
military-
understand disease control.
It's a military medical tent. They're not gonna.
The risk of infection, man. Jesus.
okay. Anyone with that?
These guys are
Sorry.
mostly trained in their ability to lop a limb off very quickly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And
For the
even
love of
that's not
Bahamut,
great.
man. Yeah.
That's
sorry.
not great.
All right, so I'm gonna like fish around in my medical bag for a bit and pull out some like medical herbs and incense and stuff, and start treating these men for this disease, which I assume I can do with the 26.
Sure.
I'm just like,
Sure.
just keep this lit for like 2 hours near them. It'll clear their sinuses. It'll help with
Broken.
blood flow, etc., etc. She's not broken. It's just fuck you.
That's a specialism. Like,
Yeah.
If
So yeah.
just 'cause my character doesn't have one of those, Roach, that doesn't
see-
mean that they're broken.
you see, here's the thing, right?
I'm
If
a doctor, Mitch,
someone-
not a virologist.
I'm a doctor, not a cleric. Oh, wait, I'm both. Anyway, no, in the case of like things like that, if one of us was a rogue, you would hate that rogue so much because of expertise.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I played a rogue. I know. I've played rogues.
Can you imagine if I took train and took expertise in medicine? You would kill me, or in perception, double my
Like a
perception
lot of
bonus.
assumptions that I'd let you.
You're like, bitch. No.
So, yeah, you spend the rest of the day
Mhm.
dealing with this. There's about 20 people that have come down with it, and yeah, the fall flu is a fairly common disease that runs through, and it's mostly characterized by things like mouth sores and general pain and fever, that kind of stuff. It's not usually very bad, because as long as you keep kind of dry, it doesn't really affect a lot of people, but the encampment is not very dry, and there is an improper amount of firewood that is being given out to every little grouping of individuals, so it's not particularly warm either. So you spend time doing that. I'm going to need hunting checks, so fucking survival advantage on whoever's helping. If you
Who's
want to
got
do
the
two
highest
separate ones, or if you want to
survival?
help. Or, actually, question, how do you want to do this? Are you trying to gather people first for hunting party? What's your plan for your...
I'm going to go around and convince people that the cold and hungriest looking people who do you want to eat? Come with me. We will go hunting.
Like, Like a Russian version of the child catcher. He marches through the street offering food as a salvation.
So, I just realized, so you're going to the coldest and hungriest, miserablest people and just going like, come out to
Yes.
the forest, hunt.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Just using
Alright.
sheer confidence.
Sheer confidence. Okay. Yeah. Are you wishing to help with that, Rivallon?
Yeah, okay.
How are you? I hope it's more enthusiastic than that, or you might not give him advantage.
Did any of our riflemen get here? Did we find out?
You missed that conversation.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. Did we?
No. No,
We're
because
ahead of them.
we're ahead of them.
Okay.
You know what's funnier? I'm going to play my bone flute whilst rallying these people, so I'm like Pied Pipering it.
All right. So how are you helping, Rivallon?
I'm going to say, look, if you want to eat, we're going to go hunting for food right now. However, if you don't agree, he's just going to play this constantly until you do. You don't want that.
All right. Give me a. Okay, one, give me a performance check. We're gonna see if this gives you a natural advantage or disadvantage, and then whether or not
That's
that,
Ustinia.
whether or not.
Yeah.
All right.
Which
so
just
you
gives
get
my argument more presence.
which is why it's a flat roll now, because your advantage that you give him cancels out the disadvantage of the bone flute, which gives him a flat roll of persuasion.
Who?
Ustinia.
Okay, thank God, because I only got +1.
18.
That's pretty good.
Hey.
Ustini has a plus nothing.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
He
I've
just.
got a +5
No,
to
that's the thing.
survival.
That's the secret, Midge. He just rolls good.
He doesn't rely on his bonuses.
You don't need. You don't need good bonuses if you just roll good numbers.
Oh,
So-
it won't dumb down. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Spring loaded.
no. Yeah. So, yeah, you gather a fairly sizable party of very miserable, starving, cold individuals in haphazard, patched clothing. None of them have bows, because they're not archers. They're standard men, so they've got like pole arms.
They can carry these two's kills.
Or stick a pig.
Yeah.
Bang.
And they will follow
bang,
you.
Bang. Okay, there's 5 arrows out there, all attached to animals that are dead.
So they will follow you into the they will follow you into the forest. So who wants to take lead on the hunt?
I've got +5 to survival, which is what Roach said.
I have +4, but I also have an ability that I'd like to remind that we've not really leveraged, and that I can find food, although I only really
For your
kind of-
party.
for my party. But I would like
Which
to know
is-
whether I can
these guys are-
leverage this toward this check in any way, in that I have this ability and knowledge of being able to look among the area that I know for foraging for food. Like, it's explicitly in the ability that I can find food.
Also, aren't
Oh,
we in
easily.
Rivallon's favorite terrain, so he gets advantage naturally
Yeah.
on survival checks in this
Well,
area?
You can't have double advantage.
But
we
give
could
it to
both-
him.
We could both
You can't-
roll with advantage if you give Ustinia his.
Yeah, you
little-
take half and half, and you just split off in different directions.
I'm gonna take this D20. I'm gonna take this D20.
And I'm
Right.
going to roll
Right
it.
there.
I'm
gonna
guessing
take
you're
this
going to roll
D20.
it.
And if I roll above my target number, which is very high, I will give somebody in this party double advantage, and we're gonna try this.
Shit.
Which, by the way, double advantage is 3 dice. So
Yep.
you roll 3 dice, and whichever one's the highest you keep.
So it's rolling with inspiration.
Well, no, because that's 2 dice. But
Still,
fuck you.
Oh,
you
but-
get
yes.
Fuck you.
There you go.
What did you roll?
19.
Oh, of course you did,
Slide.
because it's involving
it-
us having good things
Alright,
happen to
I'm
us.
It's
roll-
involving.
I'm
So
rolling
you're
my
rolling
survival.
3. So you're rolling 3 D20, and then
How do I
you
do-
can manually put in. Just put
So-
Hold on. Manually put in your modifier in the modifier box in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So whatever your survival is, just put that modifier in there.
Okay, so that's 5.
5.
5. Then pick up
Oh, I
pick
have
up a
to-
d20 and then
up-
right-click 3 times,
Yeah.
and you would roll
1,
3
2, there you
d20s.
Ooh.
17 plus 5. It
Oh
didn't
my
do
god,
that.
I rolled so badly.
A 2, a 3, and a 2.
Yeah.
No.
A 2,
It
a
didn't-
3,
It
and a
didn't.
2.
It doesn't matter. You know what? Ustennia, roll 3 d20
Yeah, go for
with
it.
your, with your survival thing. I just want to see if this continues to hold true. You just gotta roll better.
Here's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Ustennia rolled
Yeah.
four.
Oh, he's totally rolling better.
Just roll better numbers, and that's all you need.
Just roll better numbers, man.
We're gonna
I
see
doubt.
this.
I put it down to the fact that Utari is often painting Warhammer. He's out of all of us the one that's pleasing Nuffle the most. Nuffle being the god of dice. No,
No, it
seriously.
doesn't really. No, it doesn't matter. You just roll shitty today. Jesus Christ.
You all could have beaten both of those 3d20 scores put together on 1d20.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Roll
rolled
just-
better.
Roll just one roll of a d20. Roll better than both of you with 3.
Actually, that's not accurate.
No, because it's
Because it's adding the numbers together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So
we.
that's not-
That's
that's
yeah.
not- It
the
shouldn't be doing
highest
that.
roll is 11.
I know. That's what I've been saying. I know that that's not the right number. I know. But I'm commenting on the fact that I rolled a 19 on 1d20 before this. And that's what Midge is commenting on, in fact.
Yeah.
And also, I rolled a 17 on one of those d20s I rolled as a test.
Yeah.
So that's what I should have rolled. Dropped to 6. Just advantage.
No.
Yeah,
because-
no.
No,
It works the same way. It works the same way.
So
you got
add
He's
them
picking
together.
you got
the
got
highest
with
dice
your
because
with your
yours
rolls.
a 3 plus 5, so that's 8. My highest dice was a 7 plus 4.
Yeah,
That's 11.
Which is 11. Yeah.
So it's just how you're reading it. So like
Yeah, it's
your
how you're reading it.
original
I've been
three
reading
roll,
it.
as your highest roll was a 3 with dropping 2 2s.
Yeah.
But it's adding them together. Oh, I give up. I'm going back to bed.
It's adding them together, but I don't really care how they're adding it together. I just looked at the number you rolled plus 5.
Fair enough. Can we have the
You
one
do it
that came
yourself.
after?
No. So the highest roll you both got was 11.
Yeah.
So that means you went out and you found a shitload of squirrels.
Hey, meat is meat.
Meat is meat. Squirrels and rabbits.
Mitch, why do you have a blue dot on your head?
It's a guitar pick.
Okay.
You didn't answer the question though.
I don't think I-
Answer the question.
I don't know. I've lost
Mitch.
control of my life.
You just rolled 3 2 2 and 2 4 7 on 6 d20s.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know, Midge.
We were there.
Yeah. So yeah, you got enough to maybe feed a third of the camp with and that includes bone broth, making that out of the bones. It's not a lot.
Better than fuck all.
It's better than. Yeah, except it's better than nothing until the starving side of the camp decides to rise up.
This is where I just step in and I'm like, level 5, create food, motherfucker.
So Shesh creates an amorphous mush that
It's
is
food.
that is tasteless.
How much food do I create with that? Hang on, let me check.
It's a lot.
not like a
Create
level 5.
food and water. Let me find it in here somewhere.
I'm pretty sure it's like 50 tons.
So you create 45 pounds of food, 30 gallons of water on the ground or in containers within range, enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. So I can cast that since it's a level.
There is no increase because it does not say there's.
Yeah, it's a level 3 spell, so I can cast that because I've already used 1 plus 1. I can cast that 3, 6, 6, 7 times.
45 times 7.
Yep.
90 times 3, 270. Plus another 45 is 315 pounds of food. That's quite
You
a lot
did that
of food.
faster than I could input that into a calculator.
She's an
She has
accountant.
math brain. She have math brain. All right.
I was
Accountant.
literally.
Why do you think I chose this career? Because I like sums.
Because she like math, yo.
And I would like to point out that's pretty much the first sum she's got right in like 15 years.
So, yeah, so 315 pounds of food is created.
Please don't take a week.
And 210 gallons of water. Because that happens naturally as well.
And you create the food is bland.
Yeah, it's bland and flavorless, but it is at least nutritious.
It is nourishing. It goes off after 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much
not
food
long.
do I need?
They're gonna
How much
get
food do I
through.
need to make to feed these guys? Because I'm not going to use all my spells.
Oh,
these
it's there's almost 2,000 people in this game.
Yeah, and Rivallon and Justinia fed a third of them already.
They've had a third of them, so there's still
1,300 men, give or take.
1,300 men, give or take. Let's see here.
How many pounds of food does someone
It
eat?
specifically says 45 pounds of food can sustain
3 pounds.
15 humanoids.
So 3 pounds of food a day for a human.
No, not. It's 45 pounds. 45 pounds for a
For 15, which divided by 3 is 3.
Yeah, I was working it out in my head. But okay.
She done it faster than any of us could even
Shut up!
bring.
Shut up!
Listen to the Mog!
Shut up!
This is my thing! I
Listen
can
to
do
the Mog!
How much did you say per? How much did you say per?
3
3
pounds. per
pounds.
person.
3 pounds. Okay,
And there's
so if you
315 pounds.
you can feed another 105 with all of your spells.
Wow.
Let me
That's
get it
all.
straight.
That's all of my spells. That's all 7 of my spell slots
Yep.
above level 3.
Yep, that's everything. Just chain casting food as it gets larger and larger, and these hungry sons of bitches are just like grabbing bowlfuls of the mush.
Use yours to feed the wounded.
Yeah, you can feed. Yeah, no, you could definitely feed all the wounded with a couple of spare. With like
Yeah.
maybe
That's fair.
like
Makes sense.
maybe like 50 spare pounds.
That
of
way,
food.
those who are able can still just go and get their own food if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
So, you did that. I just want to ask generally because it's going to be a couple of days before anything specifically changes. If unless you guys want to enact or do something yourselves, over the next couple of days, what do you want to do? There are
Can
4
I finish
major
my
items.
spell?
What's your spell? Oh, are you not doing anything else?
How long do I have left to do on it? Because I've been working on it for pretty much a month. So,
I
and I
think
think you only said I've only got a day or 2 left.
Yeah, it was a couple of days left on that. Are you not doing anything else for? Because it's going to take you. Basically, you're devoting an entire shift.
The
Of your
only
life
thing that
to
Mog
this.
can do really is Eldritch Blast trees.
I mean, hey, if you hit a squirrel
Do
in
you-
it, that'll work.
I
You
want
hit
to
a
point
squirrel
out.
and
I
make
want to
fire.
point out to the magic users in the party. You also have bodies that can do things, other than magic. Magic.
I've
Have you
already
seen
done.
my
Yeah, I know.
strength? It's not great.
It's better than mine. Shut up.
Sesh is pretty powerful. I think Sesh is the second highest strength score here.
Yeah, Sesh could break through a tree if she wanted to with an axe. Just
Sesh is
just
like,
a
hey,
wood axe.
hey, Justinia, hey,
To
random
be
man,
fair, she might
give
be
me that
better at
two-handed axe."
making firewood than she is at feeding people at this point.
Yeah.
just by doing that. Yeah, with a strength score of
16.
16. Mog, you have a +1. You have a strength score of 13. You're like an above average
I'll go
person.
and
You're
talk
like
to-
a gym rat. That is not a bodybuilder, but like a gym rat. Like,
Sesh and Justinia are like
Ew.
hardcore bodybuilders. These bitches be in the gym 12 hours a day, 24 hours a day.
Or you are a fairly like low level but dedicated like track and field enthusiast. Like that.
I
Yeah.
I've got a +1 to strength. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sesh is going to like go out and chop
So I
wood
just want to
for,
point
like,
out you
8
have
hours.
bodies that can enact
what-
things
what's-
in the
what's
world
modifier
other than
again?
magic.
Food, firewood, clearing ground.
There are 4
Really?
things. It's firewood, medical, food, and space.
So I've done the
These are
medical.
4 things.
Medical's pretty much
Medical
done.
medical is kind of an ongoing thing. Like there is an active disease going around the encampment that will continue to okay, think about this. You're in a game. This is video game Sleeping Giants now. So this is the quest line. is the quest line. Medical is a subsidiary problem that is created by the other problems currently going on in the encampment. Because it is built
people are
upon
hungry
because
and people are cold.
people are cold and hungry and don't have adequate space that has been cleared for them to make a proper encampment.
We're
They are
playing
too
RimWorld.
close.
We're playing RimWorld.
they are too close. They are too close, too cold, and they don't have enough nourishment, and that's creating a medical problem that compounds onto itself. You've already dealt with the battle wounds, the wounded, but now you're dealing with the sickly that come out like every morning. There's a medical check. There's a muster, and everybody like checks, and if you don't show up there, people go to your tent, and usually they're just like passed out from a fever or something, or they can't get up because they're too sick, and then they're brought to the medical tent. So that's what's going on right now. So you have to figure out you have days to enact things, how you're going to do this. You have been told the local town has food in its stores, but they want adequate compensation because they themselves have to, at that point, order food from merchants. Well, I'm giving this to everybody because Midge also wasn't here. and he is a character that can do things with magic, and also, again, magic users, with your own body in the physical sense. You can do things.
I've already got an idea of what I want to do.
But the firewood problem is mostly because there's not an adequate organization going on right now, because each of the orders is its own command structure, and the other generals are dealing with. They're not working together with that. They're not working together at all, and the lieutenant cannot actually order other members of orders because of the nuances of military regulations in the Kalan dynasty. So that's the major problem. It's very haphazard. There's no central commander guide. Medical, we've already gone through that. Food, there's adequate hunting in the area around there, but again, there has not been not a lot of the men are good hunters, and they don't have the equipment for it. They possibly could get to it, but they would need to be kind of coached on this, or you have a faster option that is more expensive in the form of the town's food stores, because they want gold in return, guaranteed at the time, because they have to buy food from merchants at that point, because this is their winter stores that you're tapping into.
I am just going to point out, I really hope we're damn well compensated at the end of this, because we have invested a lot of our own resources for very little pay, especially if we're going out to purchase from the town.
Mog wants to talk later once Vogue is here.
And space-wise,
I mean, I'm all for helping people, but not for free.
Listen, this is a Battle Brothers game. We like helping people, but crowns.
And then the space issue, again, most of the problems is the fact that the only members that are actually clearing space right now are members of the Fourth Order, and there's not too many of them. There's less than 100 that are actually in the encampment that are of the Fourth Order. The rest are stragglers.
Stop
from the other
blasting trees, he means.
And there's because of that, they don't have a very decent. They don't have shifts that they can kind of work with. They're kind of like doing all in an area, and it's not really working like space wise. So they need to you need to clear forested areas. You need to clear areas with tall grass and stuff, and get rid of like large stones, and basically an encampment needs to be cleared of certain things to be set up properly, because they need space in between tents. Proper space to stop disease is one of the reasons why tents have a strict space between each other. So
start blasting shit.
I'm going to go to the clearing crew, because if we're doing forest as well, that should help with the firewood, because we're not just gonna get rid of those trees.
Yeah, it's not all in the forest.
I know, but the trees.
Yeah, the encampment kind of bisects an open field and forest. But
is there a plan of expansion for the camp? Is it all drawn up or anything, or is there no idea what anything's doing?
In the time, because we're gonna say this is a long-term thing that's going on. This is a multi-day project. So in the time that you're talking, you've talked to Darlin. His what you get is the fact that he was sent here to make an encampment, but he wasn't given specifics about how big the encampment would need to be. So he assumed it was for the Fourth Order, that he was coming here to set up when they retreated from the city, because apparently Haslan did not think they would hold it. The problem is, apparently it was for every order's stragglers or survivors to get here, so he made it much smaller. So he's been actively adding to the plan since then. He had a good encampment before
Okay.
the Fourth Order, but now
Can I-
it's much bigger that needs to be.
Can I
made, so it's kind
leverage
of-
my cartography skills to help him plan out a more efficient camp expansion?
You can do that, and that would make it a bit easier. But again, manpower shortage because he can't order specific people.
But this
around.
is the thing. If we've got a good plan, we can go tell the other. We can go have a conversation as independent people with the other generals and go.
Yeah.
Here's the current plan. Here is your area. Please do this for the efficiency and the sake of your own fucking hides. Go like.
Isaac and Mog
Okay.
can go and talk to the generals and
Yeah,
probably have a
yeah.
better persuasion skill than.
Or you
Okay,
can just send
there's
Rivallon
that.
in.
Or we could
Sesh
just
had her
send
fingers
Murder
up.
Elf in.
Yeah, I held my 2 fingers up because I wanted to go after Mog. But hey, it's cool. Whatever.
Oh, okay, I didn't-
It doesn't matter. Sesh is going
I'm
to
just
help
going in
with the
order,
logging. Sesh is going to help with the actual fire making crew. She's going to grab a 2-handed axe and just go at it for like 8
Just
hours.
go at it.
Just go at it. You know, start shouting at them.
Are you
like-
devoting any time to the medical tent as well, and like
yes.
in like the
Yes.
night and stuff? Okay, so
Yes.
like you're doing a 3/4 shift on the logging crew, and then
Yeah.
a quarter shift.
So she's
in the
actually going to
medical
start
tent.
bellowing like, you know, hey, you gonna let a girl beat you at your at your own game as she's like chopping wood, trying to
she's
spur
a
these men
fucking
on.
7-foot
are you trying to-
bastard dragon.
Okay, are you
Maybe.
trying to spur anyone who's not a part of the Fourth Order into joining the logging?
Yes, whoever's
crew as
there,
well?
whoever's there, she's just
Okay.
going to start bellowing at people.
Hush! I'm going hunting
Okay,
again.
so well, first let's do this in order. Midge, make a cartography check or whatever you're trying to. Make an intelligence. Make it a straight intelligence because you're trying to work off. You're logically trying to plan out this encampment. I'll give you advantage because you're helping. Darlin is helping you, and he has
Okay.
extensive knowledge about military logistics. So he's working through with that. So we're gonna work these in order as we go to make this a little easier.
18.
18? Okay. Yeah, you were Darlin had a good starting point, but it was mostly just adding on to like bits and pieces, like a prison architect thing where he just didn't plan it out as well. He's just adding wards onto his prison, basically. So you kind of like erased part of it, kept what was already made, and then you've expanded it into a very ordered camp, including because you got over a 15. Including an extra layer of defenses around the camp, with some of the trees that are being knocked down, are being made into not the cavalry, the anti-cavalry defenses are already in there. You've also implemented not full palisades, but basically an interspersed little walls in areas to also block cavalry charges and stuff. It's
Okay.
like
I
they're like
was-
mini walls in various
I then,
random locations.
other than
besides
helping talk to the generals, I also want to make sure with the plans as well that there is a specific point. So when stragglers and things do arrive, that they can be sent to their correct areas, and if there isn't an area that's already been made for their area, that they need to go get started on that and show them their assigned area. Basically, welcome gate, sort of the
Getting things
inflow and
worked out.
intake room.
Trying to get
Yeah.
logistics sorted.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
suddenly I've got
I'll
elevator music in my head with someone standing at the gate. Welcome to Paramere Camp. Please show your order passports at the gate.
Yeah. What,
Now in camping-
have your form
Group
51As ready and signed in triplicate.
No, it's
Now
more
in
like
camping-
prison
Sergeant.
Group
more
six.
like it's more like prison architect, you know, the inflow room where it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, everyone sit on that bench,
So-
we'll get you to your place.
I'll allow that to be rolled in with the roll you just made, so that we'll just use that as your basis there. So that's happening. You've kind of worked that out. The manpower of the Fourth Order is stretched pretty thin right now. So if you want to get that going, you're gonna have to try and spur some men from the other orders to take up
That's next thing, isn't it?
a role. So that's gonna. I'm sorry. What was that?
Isaac
That's
and
why we
Mog.
want to talk to the generals, isn't it?
Isaac and Mog
Okay,
are
yeah.
going to go and talk to.
So
Should
I'm
we
gonna-
take the break first and then do that?
Yeah.
Yes, because we're at our midpoint
Okay.
break.
Okay.
So we'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes. Go get yourselves refreshments, and we will see you in a moment.
1-5 moment.
Yeah, I'll make the switch back.
Oh my god! I just read a story.
We're back.
Sorry, I was just reading like a little post, and it's somebody's hell story about studying abroad in Germany. And apparently they studied abroad in Germany for 3 months, but they weren't fluent in German. They just studied it in high school, for, normal amount. They get there, 2 adults, 3 kids, none of them speak a word of English, and they spend 3 months having to speak perfect German because they don't understand them unless they speak perfect German. And on the last day of their time there, the father of the family turns to this girl and says, in perfect fluent English, I'd say your German has improved quite a bit since you got here.
I would
point.
That's such a German thing. So this is going to sound bad. It's such a German thing to do because
You know
I
what that
experienced.
sounds like? That
Because
sounds
it's
like,
like-
that sounds like a what's the area? Tours, the central area around Paris, not just Paris itself, but around Paris, the Tours County area. That sounds like that thing to do. Anyone from Tours in France absolutely detests anyone who speaks French to them without that accent, even from within France.
Well, this is the thing.
Normandy style.
I
I just love it.
They
I have no idea what I'd do in that
to-
situation.
to ban
But-
discrimination
So-
against accents because it's so bad in France.
Well, in when I was in Berlin, 2 people in front of me in the queue were something like Turkish but didn't speak German. So the German people behind the counter spoke English to them, and they conversed in English. And then when I went up to the counter as someone who was English, they only spoke German to me. I was like,
It's because of your English. 2 world wars, 1 World Cup, and all that.
Exactly. Which is what I kind of wanted to go out the door singing it, but it's like I can understand exactly where that person was coming from. France is even worse. I'm not surprised either. There is only
I don't know
one
what I'd
nation
do.
in this entire world that doesn't have English as its language of the skies, and that's France. Fucking North Korea has English as its language of the language of the skies, but France doesn't.
I actually didn't know that. I thought it was an international thing that English was the.
Yeah, there's
what
only
you
one
use.
country that doesn't observe it.
Wow.
That's
well, I knew
France.
that, but I didn't know France was the exception. That sounds.
Petty.
Even Japan.
That's
They
exceptionally
even Japan,
French.
and the average Japanese person is horrible at English. So it's it's surprising that that's true.
You all know we're live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's not.
That's
most
Here's
most
the thing,
Japanese
though, right?
people say the same thing. They're not
Yeah.
great at English.
This is the truth, though, right? That's the most French
They have
thing
one
I've
word in
ever
their
heard.
language with an L sound. It's a singular word.
Yeah.
So
It's because
there's a reason.
it's because France used to be the language of the French used to be the language, and they're
Fuck off, France.
holding on it.
Yeah, you used to also control Italy, but it's been a while.
I mean, they kind of transitioned away from it due to confusion,
Yeah.
Like-
How many
like,
different
you know,
words there are
you know,
for you in
Mayday?
French?
Confusing.
Mayday has its origins in the French for save us, like merdir. And having that as a, merdir is like confusing over radio, whereas May Day is a lot clearer.
Yeah.
No, that's you.
So-
Medicina. It's not you.
So Roach, just to go over this this side quest session. We're gonna do as much as we can do for this first day, and then our group needs to we need to find somewhere to sleep ourselves, and also have a chat
I'm
of our
assuming
own.
you've worked out a location to set up
Okay.
camp. That is being.
Cool.
I'm assuming. So that's happened. There's a wooden cage that is under guard.
Yeah.
With your prisoner inside.
Because
of
we
it.
need to have our own chat before we do multiple days of helping these people. So
Yeah,
So the
like,
first-
how much are we getting paid for all this?
So the first full day of this, though, you're doing that. Sesh is
Tending to
her-
rally people to chop firewood.
Give me a persuasion check for the rallying portion of
Ah.
your day. Okay, you increase the amount of firewood being gathered because of your persuasion, and that is going to decrease the DC of your roll for today's firewood gathering that you were partaking in, the operation. So make an advantaged, make a check with advantage, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be.
I mean, it's going to be athletics or strength, and I have the same in each.
No, it's not about with firewood. It's not about your individual strength. It's about
Survival.
how long you can go for.
Survival.
It's about your endurance.
Con.
It'd be your
Con?
Constitution save.
All right, I'm better at that. You want to save or do you want to check?
It's charging, buddy. It's charging. I'll give it to you.
Hey,
in a minute.
Hey.
Fish is charging.
So do you want to check or save?
I want to save.
Save. Ooh.
Why are you so wet? Jesus, he's like he dunks his head in the water bowl. Jesus.
But
Rival's sister
Essentially.
cat used to drink from the tap.
Yeah, she used to sit
Yeah,
on
we
the
had cats
kitchen
use that
side
too, yeah.
to
He
refuse to drink
cannot
out of a bowl.
He can't. It's a weird thing. He can't stand water or moving water when it's above him, or when it's coming down. But he loves it when it's side, like when it's horizontal or.
hey, Duke.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
He's getting so big.
You shut your big
yeah.
kitty.
Look how big he is. He's so big.
Yeah, chunky boy.
He's a chunker. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay, 12. Well, you lowered the DC by having a higher amount of people working. So, I will say you get a fairly good supply of firewood going. You meet the needs of the day plus an excess amount that's being produced. It's not a big surplus, but it's something starting. Oh.
He's like, Dad, hand. Yes.
Yeah. No,
Do
he
not
brought
let
it down
me
to
put my
bite
paw
it
up there. Do not let me
Yeah.
put my paw. Fine. I'm pulling it back down.
because he likes biting. So, that's your day, and you do a standard medical kind of
Check in.
quarter shift there.
Yeah.
Not enough to have to test anything. You're just helping out. It's keeping the overall amount lower by you being there. So we got sessions done. Now we have a joint thing between Isaac
The talkers.
and Mog. You're both wanting to work on rallying the other orders that are currently in the encampment.
Rallying the generals of the other orders.
So I'm going
Yeah.
to ask Lieutenant Darlin the names of the other generals.
I'm gonna need my hands back to look up notes.
He's like, may I have this back? No, Dad, you cannot.
Down. He's holding onto the table.
It's like, Dad, no, please, I don't want to get down.
Why'd you put your cat up off the table?
You wanted to.
We need a cat.
I
You
know
won't
we
leave me
do.
alone unless I do this.
If we could have one here, we'd already have one.
I've got to get.
On my
I've got to
shoulders.
get his fish. Yeah,
Here,
buddy,
you can have my little puppy. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
It's
you
not
too.
quite the same as a warm-bodied.
No, but he is adorable. Sorry, she is
It's fair.
adorable.
She's very.
I could be playing Elite Dangerous with a cat on my shoulders.
You could.
Yeah.
He's going after the floppy fish in the bed.
Okay, generals.
That. So, generals.
Generals.
Generales.
Generals.
Generalissimo.
Generally.
Generalissimo.
There is General Quarrel.
Spell.
Or no, that's not a Q. It's or. Never mind. It's Quarrel now.
Coral.
Oh,
General Coral.
Coral.
Where's
So
Coral?
that's no longer an O. That is a Q because if that is an O, that's not gonna work out. So that is Q Romeo Alpha Romeo Echo Lima. Because I've forgotten what Q is in the phonetic alphabet off the top of my head.
Quebec.
For some reason.
Quebec.
Quebec. That's what it is. It's always those that get me.
So Quebec, Romeo.
how is one supposed to crawl?
Coral.
Coral.
Did you just?
I'm
put
assuming
letters
it's
together?
the professor from Harry Potter, the 1st one.
Quirrell.
It's the professor from Harry Potter, the 1st one.
Quirrell.
Quirrell.
I'm assuming that's how you're supposed to pronounce it or something like that. That's
I'm
the,
gonna say
that's the name.
Quirrell. That's his name now.
Don't complain to me. Complain to the random name generator for elves that I got this list.
Well, so which order was that? Sorry.
That would be the
8th.
That'd be the 8th Order's commander.
Okay.
And the 15th.
15th. Give me a second. I can hear the floppy fish from motor going on behind me. So, that is here. Wrong sheet. There we go. Konak. Charlie Oscar, November, Alpha, Kilo. Jesus. I need more
Okay, that
caffeine.
one's pronounceable. And 8th,
It's
15th,
elves.
and 20th.
The 20th is
He's
kids,
the
isn't
training
it?
order dude.
that's Fulmir or Fulmar. That's Foxtrot, Oscar, Lima, Mike, Echo, Romeo.
And they're the
20th training order.
look at that. Okay. Isaac and Mog attempt to do some persuading, probably get some terrible rolls.
I'm gonna give you
All right.
advantage.
So what's your
'Cause I
what's
think
the
you-
gist of
I
your
think you have a
what's the
high-
gist of your arguments?
We've come up with this plan, but we need everyone to
Chip
We
in.
need all-
Good.
everyone to chip in because we were at Stunlass, and if we are not ready for this enemy force, it doesn't matter.
You're all going to
who-
die.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're general of. They're not going to be here by the end of the fight.
And also, it's for the good of your men because they are currently ill and
Suffering.
getting iller. So the illness thing and the fact that you're definitely going to get invaded, you may as well be, ready for it.
Not iller in the rap battle way either.
All right.
No, that would be a good
Go
thing.
ahead. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
With
With
advantage.
Yeah, I'm giving you
This
advantage.
is- And this is going to be opposed to the roll I just made.
Because I believe you have a better plus than I do to
I
persuasion.
have +7. 19.
Yep, you do.
19. You beat it by 10.
You beat it by 10. Yes.
I didn't roll well. So you spend about a half hour working, kind of working on these guys, making these arguments and trying to persuade them to submit, at least in some way, to Darlin's plans and aid the encampment overall. And in doing so, you win over the two that have actual people to command in this encampment, and the one that, although is here, has absolutely nobody to command in this encampment because the 20th doesn't technically exist here. But they decide to go along with it, and they give nominal command authority over the individual men and their units while in the encampment to Lieutenant Darlin, so that he can work through his plan, which is technically his and Isaac's plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes through. So you do that. And now we get to Rivallon and Ustenia. So, what do you want to do for your first full day here to try and help?
More
Good at.
food.
What I'm good at.
Okay. All right. Are you trying to? Are you just hunting? Is in terms of just trying to find just hunting food, or are you trying to help these? Are you catching fish, or are you teaching a man to fish? This is the question.
Oh, actually, we're by the coast. Can we send people out to go do some fishing?
Literal fishing.
You could if you wanted to. They don't have the equipment, but you could definitely organize like a small group to start making basic fishing rods. You know, with just bits of long.
I think
string
we
and-
should help these people to help themselves.
I have a dumb hunting idea.
Go on.
A dumb hunting idea.
We get everyone to go around the other side of the forest.
Let's get the high prince
Rush
together, give him
forward,
some really, really
whacking
fortified
everything
wine,
in
and
it,
see
so
what
all the
happens
animals
when he
come
goes for the
running
boar.
towards me, and then I just start going.
I turn in,
Isaac
I
can
turn
be a giant eagle.
in- or a T-Rex. I can fucking just get bush beat out loads of animals out of the forest. Just. I want to see a deer go darting out of that woodland,
So
and
give
there's
me-
a T-Rex behind it.
give me an advance. Whoever wants to take the lead on this out of the two of you, give me a survival.
I
check.
recommend one do the active hunting and the other one stay behind and train some of the other people to be self-sufficient.
Well, I get advantage just by going out there because it's my
Yeah.
favorite terrain.
I will stay behind
You
and
will,
train.
yeah. Okay, so Rivallon goes out to hunt. Rivallon, are you just doing standard bow hunting, or are you also setting traps?
A bit of both, to be honest with you.
Bit of both. Okay. All
Because
right.
if I see like a deer, I'm going to shoot it in the head.
Obviously, but I was just wondering because I didn't know if you were doing like an active hunting style, or are you also trying to because both are valid and they both would still, you know, it's the same check for both of them, but they might have different, you know, long term. Because if you have traps out there, then people can go and check traps periodically and reset them, and like, you know, it's like a, you know, it continues to make food essentially.
It's more a
by
case
doing
of
so.
I'm going around like actively hunting, but like get to a good place where there would be an animal, I'd set a trap and then keep moving.
Like a good trail.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's somewhere that
I'll let
I
you do
know
both.
because I can.
I'll let you do both, but let's do a standard advantage survival check for the active hunting, and then I'll make you do an intelligence check just to see how many traps you like find good spots for. Generally, you'll have a
Yeah.
few out there, but we'll see if you come across like a good animal trail or something.
Yeah.
For 21, you bag some animals, but give me just a general intelligence check. This is just, or do you have like no, tracking's not a skill.
Survival
I do have
is.
survival, which is what I just used. I'll do that again.
Or nature.
Yeah, give me another survival. Or yeah,
Or do you
want
nature.
nature?
would-
You
Yeah.
would get advantage
Nature
on
would-
that as well because
You would
it's
still
in
get
his
advantage, but give me
territory.
nature. This is less for you finding active hunting spots and more trying to like locate concentrations. So it would make sense. Okay. So we'll say this: you, yeah, no, very good rolls.
Someone
Makes up
has
for
to.
the horrible rolls that you made earlier. Again,
We're still
because
getting organised.
yeah. So for the active hunting, again, the thing is, you're a single man, elf. You're a single elf. So although you are very good at hunting and have a very good day's worth of hunting, it's not enough to feed everybody.
No, it's nowhere near. Nobody near. I'm on my own.
Yeah. But you do find, but you're helping to take the edge off of the general like hunger. People that need it the most are getting it, and you know you're making like a very watery broth from like, you know, cracked open bones and stuff. It's
Yeah.
helping people not desert essentially. We'll say you get. Actually, I'll say this: you get 2 deer during the early part of the day, and then you find what could only be described as like a wild like bull that's probably broken out from somewhere up north and it's just kind of like in a forest here. And then it gives you a good amount. You need to have people help you take it back, but obviously from the rolls you made yesterday, you are able to gather people easily enough to come and help you and like cart these animals back. Plus a mesh, you know, a mess of like hairs and stuff you just find and knock out. With the 23, you find a couple of very nice spots. There's a small like watering hole with an active stream going in and out of it, deep in the forest. So you find where it's kind of like a coalescing point. So you find animal trails going to and from it, and you've set up traps in very good positions that are well traveled and actively being traveled by moderate-sized game. Not a lot of big game out here, but moderate-sized game. So you're thinking like, you know, hogs or, you know, boar kind of stuff that you just general mid-sized game, which is good. It's probably not going to feed everybody just from the traps itself, but it's going to help. And if you start getting some decent hunters out here that can range further,
Yeah.
there's a possibility. It's good land is what you're getting from your second day out. It's good land to hunt from. Now let's do Stenio. Stenio, you're staying back, trying to coach essentially a lot of military recruits that are like on average, most of them are farm kids, so they haven't hunted a day in their life. This is medieval, like, kind of time, so hunting's not necessarily a common skill for the rural folk, because the forests are mostly owned by the nobility. So, they are somewhat. Most of them know how to butcher animals, though. They know how to butcher. A couple of them know how to fish. So it's up to you how to work through this, and how you describe your training or your coaching day will affect what kind of role you're going to be rolling, or if you're going to be making multiple roles. But you could take a couple avenues. You could try and use the people that know how to fish to help other people learn how to fish and make the equipment to do it, and go out and start making runs to the coast.
Let's focus on. I'm gonna train them on trap building. You know, I'm trying to like
Passive
go beyond
food
basic.
gathering.
Yeah, and go into something more manufactured. So you're going to have some trap training, identifying of berries, roots, and other edibles, that sort of thing. Foraging. Something more long-term possibilities.
Okay. You get the sense that most of the light infantry, which would kind of know this, are not in the camp. They're somewhere else. They were either still in combat, or they're still coming back here, or they've deserted.
Or they're dead.
Or they're dead. But most of the light infantry are not here. The few that have been actively trying to hunt, but again, they're not outfitted as well as they could be. So, I'll say this: I'm going to make you make 3 rolls off this, because it's a very multifaceted day you're having. And you don't have advantage on any of these, unfortunately, because you don't have any aid that's being provided to you necessarily, except for one, maybe. The first one is the foraging. Can you make a nature check on that? Basically, you go out, you gather food, you gather edible things from around here, and you're trying to coach these people
60
on what's good and bad. Okay, most of them get it. There's a couple that have some trouble identifying. You get the sense that they might be colorblind. For some of the berries, which is a way of finding that out, I guess. But it's you get the sense that maybe a day or two they'd be able to start going out on their own and find a good number of this. And again, you find the same thing. Even in the non-forested areas, there are a lot of kind of winter. There's a lot of edible plants nearby, even in this colder time, because of the climate in the grassy areas next to the forest.
Nettle stew.
Yeah. The next one I want you to make is if you're trying to help with trap building. I think that is a survival. Wouldn't that be? That would be a survival.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a survival check for that.
14.
14. Okay. You missed the DC, but not by much. So I'll say it has less than the desired effect, and a lot of their examples that they make and put out aren't to the same standard as you, so they wouldn't get as much. But it is out there. They have started putting, near rabbit burrows and etc. They've put like little snare traps, and you've kind of taught them how to start living off the land a little bit. And we'll say another survival check, but with advantage, because you are trying to help the fishermen get their stuff together and start catching fish, which is essentially a passive food production method, but it
16.
is unreliable at best because of the way fishing works. 16. Okay, you make mostly enough gear for fishing to work. at least for the ones that know how to do it. And they head out for the day to try and find good spots along the coast. And even a couple go after hearing about the stream inland. They try and find nearby water sources like rivers, small rivers and stuff to get river fish if there are any in there, etc. And overall, it's a fairly productive day. And you think they're on their way, but it's gonna take a bit for that specifically. Yes, Mog.
I'm just gonna say we wouldn't have been persuading the generals all day. I would expect that took a couple of hours. So once that's done, Mog's going to go to help with the clearing. Because that is firewood and probably something she can help with.
Okay.
I imagine Isaac is back at planning the camp.
That's why I assumed your day was spent mostly planning and persuading. So Mog, what do you want to? How do you want to help specifically?
So there's trees to clear, isn't there? And there's long grass. Yes. And what was the other stones?
Stones and flattening ground, like flattening areas to put tents down, so it's not as so it's a bit less.
Do you have Thunderclap or Thunderwave or one of those thunder spells to help
Step.
break? Could you use that to break up rock?
Well, Eldritch Blast is force.
Oh yeah, you could use Eldritch Blast to break up rocks.
So if it's a big sort of rocky area, I can force damage that. And then sort of break it. But I'll save if there's big bits of stones, I'll save those because they could probably be used to help build defenses, or sort of be used as weapons. And then sort of try and think of a way to sort of
you want to go
clear
opposite.
ground.
You want to go opposite. I am going to say they probably don't appear to have many mason crafters or anything like that. So big stones are actually going to be quite useless for them because they're not going to have the manpower.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only mason here.
For fashioning those stones into being useful building materials.
That's
Hence
true.
why they go for wood, which is very simple to work with. But smaller stones, ones that you could hand carry, you could turn them into like piled walls or. There is use for them, but the bigger stuff needs to get blown up.
Or you could just use them in
The big
slings.
stuff I'll blow
There
up.
is, okay. There is a small area that has larger boulders, alluvial boulders, kind of scattered around. So if you would like to, you could use your spell craft to start clearing out that area.
Mhm.
I'm not going to make you roll for anything because it's a cantrip that you are using. So I will so I can't even make you use up spell levels for this. So it's essentially just free labor for the day for you to do that.
You're taking up her time.
Yes, and yes, the
And
most
time
valuable
resource. Yeah.
resources.
Yeah.
So yeah,
She's-
so you spend the rest of the day essentially helping out with this area, clearing it, because it's been the area they've been avoiding. So there's like a growth of camp going around it as they've been working out, but they just haven't had the ability to move these stones. Even with horses, they're big boulders that they need to they needed blowing up. So you spend like an hour on two of these things, just putting blast after blast,
in
trying
an
to crack
hour,
it.
I can throw.
It'd be
30.
3 every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So it's 30 every minute. That's a lot of Eldritch blasting.
I'm gonna say it's slower because you need to precisely hit these things to try and crack
True.
bits off. So I'm gonna say your overall hourly output of eldritch energy is lower than your maximum rapid fire.
Instead of just being like, I'm just gonna hit this shit.
Yeah. There's a reason single fire is on a lot of military rifles because accuracy is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mog can go full auto, but you're not going to be hitting everything accurately. Full auto Mog.
Have a look at my rolls too.
I mean, you don't go into a demo job and just like start jackhammering the bottom floor straight
Yeah.
away. Yeah, we'll
just cocks the hand, just puts it on there.
Ustinia
So-
just like does that thing from like the advertisement from like that Mission Impossible movie with Henry Cavill in it, where he, like there's a shotgun blast as he pulls his hands up, just.
Also, for dumb fun, I'm also going to have my unseen servant help because they can do manual tasks.
But only if they're working. Only if the object, or no, that's unseen. No, unseen servant. They can only pick up things that are like 5 pounds, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they can do some.
I like the
anything
idea
a
that
normal
it's got a
servant would
pass.
do.
I love the idea that it's got like a little basket picking up pebbles.
I was assuming it was just clearing out flecks of stone from her targeting area,
Well,
so
they
she
could
continues to.
help clear the
So you don't have
grass.
shrapnels of stone coming back at you to lop off your head or something like that.
I'm thinking clearing out the grass, so it's unseen servant, gardener.
Okay, yeah, that could work too. Either way, that's your day, and
That's my
it
day.
comes to an end at night, where you all gather in your own little encampment that you've set off to the side, where you can all discuss things as you were hoping to do on your first day. Discuss.
Hi, everyone.
So,
Greetings.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Are we all as tired as each other?
Probably.
actually, I'm just coming back for a snack, and then I'm going to go kill more stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
That sounds like Rivallon.
Then-
Isaac,
Ooh,
you
good.
feel fine.
Sesh
I've been
spent
tired.
like 7 hours
You got
chopping
ink-
wood.
You got ink stains on your hand. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sesh spent 7 hours chopping wood and then came
I
back and
don't
did
know.
medical shit.
Isaac isn't like Mog. Isaac isn't like Red. Math sums of working out measurements of camp might actually upset his head. He might have a headache right now.
He's like, I need an aspirin.
Some of my
I'm a
arrows
different
aren't
kind
bloodied.
of tired.
I'm upset
I'm-
by this.
I'm a different prestidigitation now. They're all not blooded.
You bastard! Why couldn't you done that earlier?
Anyway,
Rivallon, please
you can
let
do
me
that.
Talk.
You have that cantrip.
Ustinia is the only one here who looks like he's fresh as a daisy.
It's true. Yes. So we need to discuss what we're doing.
Cup of coffee
My-
and a jumper on, as he's with glasses, like a school teacher.
My thing is it feels like we've been going on a unmanned horse cart has been going out of control for the last 4 months.
We have
we've not
had...
been
One
in
of the
control.
two-wheeled ones or the four-wheeled ones?
Either, both are out of control.
the
Which
biggest
is
one you can
two-wheeled
get.
ones, then the front forks would drop into the ground and we stop.
We seem to be
Oh, okay.
getting involved a lot in this politicking, as well as dealing with the invasion and now helping the
This
entire
isn't
camp.
why
But
I
we're
came
doing
out.
all of this over our own
That's
expense
why I came
and
out either.
time.
I'm looking for the people who killed my family, but that's not happening.
We have not
soon.
been
We've got a
paid.
war on our hands.
Since we found the pay chest. That's the one job we've done in this entire place where we've actually done our job as mercenaries. The rest of this is being done at the kindness of heart. I mean, sure, this invasion could be bad news for the rest of the kingdoms. It could be bad for my people if they decide that they just don't want to stop here. But nonetheless, we're not charity.
No.
I'm one to
I'm-
agree with Ustinia.
I
Um,
don't want to be awful. I don't want to be selfish and leave people. But this isn't the reason any of us came on any of these journeys.
No.
And B, I'm running out of money and kind of running out of ideas about how we can go forward for ourselves. I mean,
I'm
yes,
pretty sure-
this war is important and we should help, but we also need to look after ourselves.
I'm pretty sure that us 5 mercenaries can't stop an invasion
No.
of hundreds of thousands of men.
I'm
We
also
did what
sure-
we could to stop this invasion, Sesh, and nobody fucking believed us.
Hey, I believe Ustinia said it best. It's their own problem now. As much as I know that that's heartless, and I know that I shouldn't be thinking that way,
And
They've
that's
lost.
best of us.
We are not here to win the war for them. We can assist in whatever way we can, but we're not going to win the war on our own.
we can't win
Thanks.
this war for them.
we can't win it for them either. We will assist where we can, but at the end of the day, we should be properly compensated. We have not been properly compensated for how long now?
I
We
can't
were
agree with
promised
that last bit.
It's not the
compensation
only
by
thing,
that lady.
Astinia.
Did
But,
we
I
not?
mean, compensation is the thing, but we also have our own things to do, and we're not doing them.
We have our own missions here. We need to figure out what's happening with Rivallon's, his revenge. We need to make sure that gets sorted before we leave here, because he could very
Reckoning.
well end up dead before we get anywhere else.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You're welcome. I'm not saying you
I
won't kill them.
mean-
I'm saying somebody else might, and that would make you very, very upset, and I don't like seeing you upset.
I mean, to be honest, I don't really have any other business. I'm here for the pay. Otherwise, I could just go home and serve my brother.
I don't think we've been entirely true. I know you all might not have a direct purpose here, but I still believe I'm on the right path. I was told to go to that church, that temple of your faith, Sesh, in the middle of the desert, by those I trust, and I put my faith in that, and they led me to Volrid, and then Volrid has led us here. I still believe I'm on my right path. Now I get that that is not the direct path that some of you signed up for when meeting, and I still hold my honor in the fact that, Rivallon, I will help you track down the man that did those atrocious things to your family. But to say that we are not on a path of any of ours is completely and utterly false. My path has always been to do my duty and follow what's going on, even if that is against my church. I have my faith in the powers above, and they've led me here.
I don't want
Now
all
I-
of our fates to be in the hands of the gods.
Respectfully, Isaac, I have utmost respect for you being on your path. This is your path, and I believe you to be honorable and true person, but this is your path, not mine. I come along because we are the Turquoise Company, because we are mercenary company, and the interests aligned. I'm not saying I will not continue to help, not at all. I'm simply saying at some point the conversation must come up where these people must compensate us for the assistance that we have provided as a mercenary company, and in some way, reason for me to continue to stay to make it worth my time, because I could be helping my brother. I could be directly helping with my clan. When I
do not-
return to my clan, I wish to bring riches to share with the entire clan, not just for myself. I'm not in this for myself.
I don't dispute that, and I don't dispute the idea of getting paid. Money has a purpose outside of things in our own lives and our own quests, but I just wanted it to be pointed out that we are not completely here without purpose.
I'm willing to stay for this purpose, so as long as I feel that I'm having purpose. Because right now it feels like I'm being taken advantage of.
I think we need to decide on what to do depending on what happens when Vogue gets here and after the interrogation. We will.
I mean, as an example, that lady that we got the information for, she never came back.
Didn't you
We
try
got
to find
nothing
her
out
in
of her.
Sudesh, Isaac?
Sorry. Say that again.
The
You cut out.
princess that we found the information for. Didn't you try to find her in the city?
You said that someone would come find us, which is too late now.
Well,
They found us. Found me.
Oh yeah, they did, yeah.
it
They
was
left
the
us-
night of my dream, I think.
Yes.
So it all kind of got a little sidetracked with that. We were paid for that. I'm pretty sure, were we not, Roach?
You were paid in the. Yeah, no, you were. Yeah, you were
Well,
paid.
We were paid for that. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Is
yeah,
that, is
so
that
you
the
also-
money that's currently in the party fund that we haven't distributed? Because we got caught up in a war?
No, I
Possibly.
think that's just you always split it 6 ways so you have something in the party fund as a
Yeah,
slush fund.
I have no money. in
But
my
it wasn't a
inventory.
lot of money. The other thing you got paid in was the fact that she would advocate for.
I thought maybe
for
that was
Haslin's.
platinum in there. That's what I think, because that's 300 gold pieces. Like, that
Yeah,
feels like a
probably.
round number. But
It's been a while, but that was you also got paid in the fact that she would advocate for Haslin's plans. And,
Yeah.
and
Which
that
we
didn't
don't
help.
know whether
Which
happened or not.
well, no, well, I can say out of character. It did. It modified all of the units in the city's roles further because they were given a slight more warning than
Mhm.
nothing. So, the problem is that just they rolled horribly for the entire
Yeah.
thing. It was generally a bad time for those guys.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we actually did more damage to the invading forces than the army tasked with defending the city.
I don't think I've tabulated it specifically because you only dealt with I think 1 detachment before you.
We did
left.
also kill a
And
Draco Rider.
whooped their asses.
The Draco Rider is probably worth more because, you know,
And then we went and
There's a
got
lot
to
of-
that other one and got into another freaking fight.
There was
Nice.
another. Yeah, there were
All in one
I
day.
got one actually. Yeah, there was also another. There was more fighting going on in the city that you weren't a part of.
So,
But yeah, see, yeah.
so what are our options? Once I know, obviously, the interrogation and what Vogue has to say, we need to take into account. But
I don't think our resources are best spent at the front.
no,
There's only 5 of us. We're
I
not
would
going to win
get
this
killed
war.
instantly.
Fucking
I don't want that.
We're a special operation.
Stania
unit.
steps out to go for a smoke while he's T-posing.
100%. I agree. We are not frontline fighters.
Well,
We
2 of us
almost
are.
got killed 3 days ago.
No. Even you two aren't frontline fighters, as in the muscle, the meat grinder. We are not.
I'm
the...
pretty sure Ostenia could meat grind his way through those guys pretty easy.
Yeah, but
You're
he's
missing
level
my
one.
point.
I am, but I'm ignoring
big
your
and
point.
strong. Need more meat for the grinder.
Need more meat.
You
for the
are
grinder, boy.
in representative of our group. Yes, you are our front line, but you are not front line.
No.
I hate to call a soul's life cannon fodder, but that because
We understand you, Isaac.
You get it.
You're the main character from a Medal of Honor game, not the NPCs from a Medal of Honor game.
Yeah, you're not private XYZ name that never makes it.
You're
past,
not
like,
Soldier
the
B.
votes. Yeah.
you're the character that does the D-Day landing, and then for some reason is infiltrating the submarine. You know.
But what are our options? So, is going after the champions thing worth anything? We have to go and look for Rivallon's village and the person who killed his family.
And that would be in the same
At
direction.
some point, I would like to find my brother, even if it isn't to rescue him, because I don't know whether he needs rescuing. And it's terrifying me.
Did we had a did we okay, so our assumption of where the hero's rest is Osnia.
Yeah.
Rivallon's village is the border of Athria, Arthrinia, Arthritis.
It was
Uh,
an Arthrinian uniform he saw in the vision.
And your brother is in Hellstein,
He is travelling around.
traveling around.
So we know that.
The most
Uh,
tricky of those, not to prioritize, if he's traveling and a war has just broken out, would be Morg's brother, because they are going to want to get out of here.
I don't know where he is at the moment, though. And
You have
honestly, it is not my priority, because, again, he might not even need rescuing. If he's got a curse on him, or if he's had his memory modified, which I think you can do with magic, am I right, Sesh?
Yes.
Then, yeah. But it might be his choice. And I have to accept that, but I need to find out.
Could also be old-fashioned conditioning, says the man who grew up in a monastery and also now.
Hello,
It
Mr.
might be.
Conditioning.
That's
Good
vilified.
old-fashioned, non-magical abuse. I don't know. But I need to
We'll find out. We'll find out. The real question, but there are many questions that we have here, but my belief is that we as a group are very, very convincing. We've learned that. What we could do...
Fuck we are.
Hey, listen, we can do a lot better with people who actually have seen this happen. They can't deny the fact it's happened now. We were right the whole fucking time. What we can do is, instead of... we could do what what you've already suggested, Morgan, go and head up to the north, find the champion's grave, and find Rivallon's betrayer. And then we could head into the steppes and see if we can't solve this whole conflict between them and Abrana and get the steppes to help out the Kalan. Along with Abrana.
Estonia, do I
Yes.
remember you saying that your brother knew a lot about the champion?
I don't know about my brother. Possibly. He reads.
He had
He's
a
a bit of
theory that the champion was from the
The
plains.
steppes,
and
yeah.
It was theory.
I
was
think
an
he's right,
Uteshi.
though. I think he's right, though, considering.
I mean, there's a good chance. Oh, that would be really weird if we've met the hero and that was the ancestor god of the Utesh that we all
The
met
creator?
on that peyote trip. That would be.
I
He
mean-
gave us a lot of false truth, but that's a different discussion anyway.
That's one where we need some more of that leaf.
Yeah, or
What leaf?
another what?
We'll tell you later.
Mog was there.
Mog was
was
there.
not
No, Mog
there.
wasn't. Mog was not
No,
there.
Mog
That was
wasn't
when
there.
that was when we had
Red
4
was
people.
in the pub.
Yeah, that's when we
Yeah,
had
but-
4 people.
The peyote trip was the 4 of us.
Yep.
Right.
Red was there, just off camera taking heavy notes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. That is my shooting my shot all the way out, long shot. I don't know if it'll work, but if we can convince this whole continent to turn around and actually do something for fucking once together, we could actually beat these guys.
There's another thing I want to do.
Hmm?
I want us to kill Volred. Because I'm almost positive he's the one who got Estonia's dad killed.
That would make sense.
I don't deny that he is a crux of a problem. And eliminating that glory hound narcissist of a leader would do this world a good.
I have an idea for the interrogation.
Oh?
And Mog turns into Volred.
Oh God. Oh Bahamut. Sorry. That's a no.
Sounds
No,
bad.
thank you.
Bahamidian Jesus.
Before
Oh.
Rivallon kills her.
That's me.
If
I mean, if we give you...
If
Hang
Isaac
on.
leads the interrogation with Rivallon, and I pass by as Volred, it's going to make Volred look like a spy.
What, you're gonna try and make Volred look like he's betraying them?
Yes. It's an idea. If you don't like it, that is fine, and I'll be in the interrogation with
I think
either
it's equally
Isaac
as
or Rivallon
crazy
or
as-
both.
I think it's equally as crazy as my idea is getting this whole continent to work. But that's the thing; it might actually work.
That's honestly... The problem is he's a magic user. He might know what a disguise is.
But he's
Hmm.
not allowed to use magic, and he
He's not.
has a truth seeing.
It would have to be... We'd have
See-
to be very persuasive.
See, here's the thing: we don't know if we get the power, if they get their powers like I do, where I'm granted gifts via praying and worship, or if it's like Isaac, where his powers are directly because he is connected via bloodline, or if it's like you, Mog.
We don't
They
want to
made a
talk
pact
about
with someone. Sorry.
Made a pact with the Allmother.
I mean, there is a
or
third
the ghoul.
there is a third option of they studied really fucking hard.
Yeah, but who does that though, right?
that. But they had the focuses in their swords. Because I picked that up from the identify.
Yeah.
Which might lead to study.
Yeah.
But that
Or
one of the warlock things can be your focus is your sword. Mine just happens to be a book, but it can be a sword.
I will point out you've seen these guys cast more spells than the
Warlock
20th
can.
level warlock.
Yeah.
True.
But
I think
they
there's more
are
Level
also
warlock gets, I think, 3 slots to cast
more
from.
on the lines of Eldritch Knight, which is a wizard.
they're also homebrew, so I don't know what you're doing, Roach. I'm just taking shots in the dark here.
No. I was gonna point out, Mikey, when you were for the last 10 minutes where you were just doing this with your gloves, I couldn't get it out of my head that you were trying to nick somebody's Stario.
Uh-huh.
just with your
I'm gonna
with your
nick
black
someone's
gloves.
Stario.
I am going to do something
Insane. That sounds like you.
dangerous tonight, and Sesh, I would like you to keep an eye on me.
Oh boy.
Don't do it.
He's gonna pray.
Don't.
You're gonna pray, you absolute fucking madman.
It's been I pray every day. I just don't
Pray,
accept it.
pray.
I don't go for.
I don't pray, man. I just
don't
pray.
I don't go connection to the spirit world. Pray.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much Stargate. First thing that popped in my mind, I no longer go into Calnoreen.
Isaac.
Major like disconnects the Ethernet cable just before it happens. Just
Because if I am on the right path, that is probably the only. Or if I'm on the wrong path, that's the only way to confirm it. Because I believe,
Whose
It seems
path is
like
the right path?
exactly, and also I need
Just
to get it
reiterate,
out
you-
of my head. If you
You have
are,
been directly told that the reason that you were pointed to where you were was because your aunt pointed you
Yeah.
there.
I know.
All right, just want to point out.
so. My reasoning that I'm getting from this, Isaac, is that you're going to connect to the middle manager or the whatever he was, and ask him what exactly.
I'm just going to check in. It might not even be the middle manager anymore.
It might actually be a manager.
I
See-
have a really dumb idea.
Oh boy, more dumb ideas.
Sending works across planes.
No,
No.
No, that's the one thing it doesn't do.
it has to be on the same plane.
Yep.
Technically, I could send Ascending to Sedna. I could cast Tongues and then send Ascending to her, and it'd work.
Salah.
Sala. Oh, well, actually, no, that's another thing. Is it time we get our pirate friend involved?
No,
Or is
not
that too
yet.
late at this point?
I think that was a bizarre sidetrack that I don't think we need to go into. So
But we
what I'm getting from this meeting is that we all need to work out what the fuck we're doing next. And I know whatever it is, I know that we're not going to be on the front line, and we need to do something different. It's just what is the right
You can
path. for
send
it.
the message across any distance and even to other planes of existence.
Ooh.
But
Oh.
if the target is on a different plane than you, there is a 5% chance that the message does not arrive.
I met Isaac's aunt.
You did.
And like as Mog says that, I'm like, she like clicks her fingers, which I can't do because I'm wearing gloves. And I go, I met your aunt, Isaac. I could talk
did?
to her for you,
With 25 words. or
which
less.
is more than we had a second ago.
It's very true.
Trying to find the name of the middle manager because I've forgotten.
Oh, I
Stevie,
can
we just turned to Estinio sitting there drinking coffee this whole time.
Mm.
How's the coffee?
Great.
Good to go.
Begins with an O.
Or
Ovar.
Ovar. And he looked like one of the actual biblical angels, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No.
No, he had one of those
Eyes.
behind.
Yeah.
No, he had one of those behind.
Yeah, he had one of those like biblical angel things that are wheels but also eyes.
Right. So, what are you doing for tonight? Or are you just gonna sleep for tonight and then come back in the morning and try and work out what you're gonna do?
I mean, do you want to send a message to my aunt? If so, what?
What do you want me to say to her, man? I have spell slots available. We could do that, and if you wanted to afterwards, depending on her response, you could go pray to pray.
Okay.
If you
I
pray,
do
though, we are all with you. Do not do it just with Sesh, because we don't know what's
Okay.
going to happen.
Well, it's more the fact that if my body goes lifeless, I need Sesh to give me life, because there's no way that you guys will be able to fight whatever's in the spirit world with me.
Only works if the soul is allowed to come back.
Yeah. It's
True.
since your soul technically belongs to Palor, I guess.
I mean, there's a bit of an it's just like
Yeah.
it would take a lot of intervention.
Here's 500
but-
diamonds.
But yeah. What was it? Was it Ovar? Ovar doesn't sound right. Because it was like we are. all-
Ovar's the overweight.
Yeah.
The overweight
It
dwarvish
was
guy
pre-me,
that like
so
smoking
I
the
don't
cigars.
have it.
It begins with an O.
It does begin with an O. Otten.
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 Yeah, the Otten. The Otten. Yeah.
We are Otten. Yep.
Yeah, Ovar was your first quest giver.
Yes, he was the guy with the ruby smile.
The cherry smile.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
You still have those cherry cigars, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, we do.
Only gonna smoke them when the campaign's right over. It's gonna be
Yeah,
looking
it's
over the-
exactly what Isaac's holding them for. Or
He's gonna
one of
put.
the
He's
Scott.
gonna hand one of. He's gonna hand
Or
them all
when
out.
one of you gives birth to a child of some sort.
I mean, Isaac may already have like a baby in the world for all we know. Little Miss Dwarf Captain over there.
So what are you
that
doing for tonight?
aside, right. Send a message.
Okay.
You said 5% chance, right?
5% chance. So roll a d100, and if it's below or it's below above 95, it fails.
Hell, I'll roll 5 d20s on screen right now.
No, I
No, it's
got a D100.
percentage die.
No, I'm doing
You
it.
can't know. You can't 'cause you don't know if it went through or not.
Yep.
So I just gotta wait for you to actually.
Oh, 20.
That was a message.
Nice.
Ask.
51.
It's not how. It's not how you roll a D100.
Yes, it is.
It's one way to do it, I guess.
No, it isn't, because the distribution means you have a minimum of 5.
That's true.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. That's why you get 2 D10s.
Ask her what her situation is.
What's your
Write
name?
this down.
Haziel.
Haziel.
Took you a
Sesh is like, I don't know her name. This would be a bit weird. Can I?
No, that was Isaac taking a second to say. Yeah, I can say it. It was.
Yeah, nothing's
So-
gonna happen. The sky parts. as You say the name.
I just told you the name of a Deva, you know. That's
Giant tentacles start coming out of the holes in space time.
Bahamut, man. The tears here. You know.
Yeah, no, I know, but if you read old magic, knowing things name, helping banishing, you know.
That's true, yeah. But then again, I like her. I liked her when I met her because she's taller than me, which is a rare thing.
Again, she's a giant angel woman.
Yes,
Ask her.
The problem being,
exactly.
Ask her.
All
her-
Rivallon cares about is she single.
Yes.
and ask. She is. And ask if. She's also immortal, so she's got you beat.
Just means she's got experience.
Ooh,
Ask,
damn.
ask her if Isaac's on the right path.
She's an ant.
Okay.
You're
This is his aunt. Hey, guess what, Rivallon? You're now Isaac's uncle.
That would be weird.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. So
1, 2, 3.
So, yeah.
That is
Is
only 10 words. What is
Yeah,
your
is there
situation?
anything-
Is
we're
Isaac
not
on the
Laura
right path?
Bailey. You don't need to use every single word.
Yeah,
of
if
the-
Isaac does not want to use
Okay,
every single word.
I mean, is there anything else we want to
do,
ask?
do,
her?
do, 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 do.
Can she give us a sign? Like,
Make Isaac's right cheek burn if we're on the wrong path. Whichever
Is there
cheek it is,
any
you can decide.
way You can meet.
Provide a sign
safely?
by allowing us to see a burning bush that talks
is
to
there
us.
anywhere we can see you safely?
Okay, so Haziel, is Isaac on the right path? And is there a place where we can meet you safely?
What is your situation? Is Isaac on the right path? Is there any way we?
I'm going to use the one that
meet?
I'm going to use the
But
one
no,
that
no,
Seth
no,
just counted.
But I specifically asked what her situation
3 words
was.
left, so what's your situation? So I had 3 words
okay.
No,
left. So I
what?
had-
No. What is your situation was first, and then is Isaac on the right path? That's 10.
I'm going to roll the dice now.
18.
it's
Gonna
fine.
roll the dice
You've
now.
used them all.
Okay.
That's just waiting for a response.
Okay. How long do you wait for?
However long it takes, or until we go to bed, I guess.
Okay. So you all go to bed.
Oh boy.
Well, if you didn't get a sign, I'm gonna pray. If you didn't get a reply, I'm gonna pray.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Isaac then. Well, I guess we're all going with Isaac, because Isaac's praying like an absolute madman.
just hold on to his
It's the
hand.
first time in like 7 months that I've done this, so
Like, I'm rusty, man.
All right. Make
Well-
a Arcana check.
Arcana.
Can I help?
Well, I think that's what we made you roll before. There's
No, it was
different-
always
or
it
is
was
it
religion a lot of the time.
religion.
Must
religion.
be
Which is why it was hilarious because I failed it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a religion check. I've got a DC right here.
Again.
Fail.
Apps.
You pray at the setting sun. You all go to bed. So I don't know what else you want to do for the night.
Isaac's just like, wait, I'm still here.
You're an Asimar, but crossing over the plains with no magical aid, just through sheer force of will.
I mean,
of praying.
It's part
Is
of
a-
my. Like, yeah, it's for my features. I can do it willingly, normally.
Normally, but also remember you are going against your deity right now.
I'm not
he
going
doesn't
against my deity, I'm going against my formalized church on this plane. There's a
he
difference.
he doesn't seem to mind. Go put it out there.
He doesn't
I
seem
should
to
have
know.
taken contact of the plane. Never mind.
Does
I mean, okay, I could have taken extra plenty of teleport like movement. Was it?
Planar shift.
Yeah, plane of shift. I'm pretty sure, but I didn't.
No, there was one that literally had Palor's name all over it.
No, I needed more offensive. I've got a lot of utility.
he's a sorcerer. It's kind of the one thing you shouldn't be doing is utility-based casting.
Well, I'm the
That's-
subclass of sorcerer that's meant to have some utility more than others,
I
but
know, and you have already more than your fair share. So you all go to bed, except for
Mhm.
Rivallon, who goes to meditate.
Yeah,
And then more hunting, probably.
yeah.
Except you are all awoken in the middle of the night.
Oh boy.
Not by the dreams of one of your party drawing you into an extraplanar dimension, or being contacted by an evil deity because one of your party member has a revenge boner, or anything else that's pretty common. To all honesty, with you
Yeah.
weird
I
group of
do
people.
not have a revenge boner.
Well, she thought
We
you did.
went all the way through this in going for a reckoning because this lot infected me with justice.
It's a reckoning boner.
Yeah.
It's different.
But none of that none of that's the reason you're all woken up.
Batman would approve.
In fact, you were all woken up through a entirely mundane means. A scraggly Teutonian professor wakes up the party.
I give him a hug. I give the man a hug.
I knew you'd be here. It's like Doc Brown.
Hey,
Marty!
I like extend my arms, Bosh, and I give him a hug.
I open my eyes and go, "Great Scott," and then close them again.
I know.
How did you survive?
I know this is heavy.
I went and told him to leave the day before. That's how
It's time for you to go. And he's like, okay.
It's a good thing you did. I was able to get a couple of horses from the money that you gave me, and then get my cart out of there. It's back there. And he looks back, and it's a cart that. There's a cart, but it looks like it broke a wheel. Probably I don't know, a day or two ago. So it's got like a plank of wood that's been kind of bent over one end and nailed in the hole that the broken wagon wheel gave. And it's kind of it's resting a little bit off angle. It's a horrible ride, but we got here.
We are pleased you. We?
The royal way.
Yeah, no, he
Oh,
pointed
yeah,
to
the
the horses. Yeah. It's been a while since I traveled with any living creature. So it's been nice.
We are pleased you made it.
Yes. Oh, yes. I needed to talk to you. I needed to speak with you. He doesn't look like he slept a couple of
Here,
days.
and I like reach into my bag and hand him a coffee bean. Chew on this. It'll help.
All right. Just chewing on a bitter coffee bean.
And then the caffeine hits him, and he's like, "All right."
Yeah, just mainlining caffeine. It's like somebody chewing on a sugar cane. Just getting a
What?
sugar high.
Do you need to tell us, or do you look sleep first, or at least get
No!
something to eat?
No time. No time.
It's no time, Marty.
I got a cat hair on my tongue and I can't get it out.
I got a horse hair in my mouth. Ugh.
God damn it. Oh. God damn it, Duke. Oh, that you know it's like just on the it's in like the underside and you can't get it out from underneath there. No time. It hit me. I figured it out.
Congratulations.
I figured it out.
What happened to your Teutonian accent?
I'm Doc Brown right now. I can't. Shut up.
He's currently mainlining caffeine.
By the way, the
I'm hiding culturally.
the Twilight 2000 playthrough is gonna have absolutely no Polish accents or anything like that.
No,
Let's call up Ben
shouldn't-
and have him do all of
shouldn't
them.
Piss off a whole
Ben
nation.
can't do a Polish accent.
Let's call up Ben's ancestry and have them
He's
do
got
Polish.
Ben's got horrible Polish.
So you're saying that I'm going to have to do it all?
Yes. This is what happens when you're too good at something. You do it all the time.
No, I found out. I found out. I was doing research when I was when I was traveling. It's amazing what you can think of when you haven't slept for a while and you're on the road in the middle of the darkness and it's just there's nothing else to occupy your mind. I probably should have thought up more in the months previous to this, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I figured it out.
Okay, you're
Why?
either going to tell me what you figured out, or I'm going to shoot you.
You sure this one isn't still?
No,
Influenced
he's fine.
by-
He's
Yes,
just
yes.
angry.
That's him
Alright.
normally. You upset his
Alright.
nap.
If it's it was actually worse before the whole
I'll take your word for it. No, why they're here.
Oh.
It's always come up to. I didn't understand. If they follow me on this one. Follow me. The thing is, they're following me on this one. Follow me. It's like somebody.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia in this. Okay.
Yeah. So, question, right? Is the fire still
Pepe
smoldering?
Sylvia. What is going on? No.
Is the fire still smoldering, or has it gone out at this point?
No, there's still a little fire. There's still like
I like get it
fire.
going again and sit down with them.
Why would they
Rivallon picks out
attack?
an arrow.
Why would they attack Irol? They have this functional society away from all of us. We didn't even know they existed. For what purpose do they attack now? When it seems that, from what you say, they don't have proper logistics in place to attack. I'm going way far away from that accent for a second there.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry. Why would they attack here without having proper logistics in place? They are on a time crunch.
Okay.
They didn't. The island that you went to,
Yeah.
it was barely set up.
Barely even occupied.
Correct?
Yep, barely even
Barely
occupied.
even occupied. But it sounded like a linchpin to their plan. They needed it as a stopping off point to get supplies to the mainland, as a depot.
Yes. Yes.
Why not wait?
It doesn't make
The only
much
reason
sense.
that you went there, is because they had already sent agents into Rivallon, as if this was already planned and on a time table that they were going on. And then I realized something.
The caffeine is starting to hit now.
I realized something. The eyes are like dinner plates. They're on a time crunch because a specific date or something very important is happening at a marked time soon, or at some point very quickly, that they need to get certain requirements met before they can, for whatever they need to do can occur. So it is a hard time, and I realize it is almost exactly 1,000 years from when they left this continent to when they came back. But it's not exact. It's not exact because the calendars were different around then. The day that they left is not the day they came back on the calendar. They still have some months to go. It's on the celestial calendar. So they have to do something before that time occurs. What it is specifically, I'm not sure. But it has been bothering me ever since this. You've been saying that they've been trying hard to get this done in time. It was like they necessarily needed to have it done at a specific point before something occurred. And then it hit me.
I'm gonna hit you in a minute
points
if you
to-
don't get to the point.
I'm listening.
That
He
is
points
too.
to Isaac. He points to Isaac. Your church. Your church.
Zed looks to Isaac like, I told you so.
What do we do now?
The Cardinal Empire hasn't had any outward communications with the rest of the world for almost 2 months now.
Due to some sort of plague, yes.
A plague, or
They're working with them.
your church has taken over the apparatus of government.
Yes, that makes sense.
You explained it to me.
Okay, yeah.
It's a doomsday cult.
Yeah, okay, they are, yes. I worked that one out. That's why I'm not talking to them, but yes. Continue.
But what does it... He's trying to get you to. He's getting frustrated.
They're bringing back
Paylor,
the
the doomsday prophecy. Paylor needs to come back.
Yes.
He needs to be able to come, but he can't come back.
So they're
Because
trying
that would
to
incur...
Zagul.
Because Zagul wants to come back, and she doesn't care about the other gods. So Zagul comes back. That breaks the agreement with the rest of the gods in the celestial agreement, meaning all the gods can come back without having it incur any type of repercussions by the other gods.
It's just Zagul who gets the end of it. Because Zagul is the one who broke everything.
Zagul gets the end of it. But the agreement is binding. So how does she get back?
By taking out revenge before.
By becoming the full embodiment of vengeance upon not only a specific group, an individual, or a people, an entire civilization.
Entire goddamn continent.
And it has to have meaning, because gods, it's a big thing. Meaning and time and numerology. Something has to occur on the day that the original Yaren and his people left, because that will have the biggest effect. It hits a log as he goes by that. Ow, that hurt. Yes.
It's a boost of it's okay. It's like the magical well, the life pool that they were that we found at the temple. They were draining from it to try and get a more powerful teleports going.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's that on a much larger scale.
And why was he surreptitious about it? Because he, from what you can tell, from what you've told me, is the glory hound, but also he doesn't seem to be very in tune with religious-based things, so he wouldn't know to understand the numerology that needs to occur, that they require to occur. So they could have done that. They could have just sent a group out there, stayed inside that little temple for as long as they wanted to, and constructed it without anyone knowing. But they didn't, because they don't need that. They need something bigger. They need a sacrifice of blood. Or something. It's something. Zugul, probably blood. I don't know.
Blood makes sense, considering God of Revenge and all that.
Do any of you have water? I ran out yesterday.
Here. Here, and she just hands him the full thing. Water. So good.
You get it.
How much is a soul worth to a god?
Well, that's
Almost
how
nothing.
I mean, that's how gods get their power.
Depends on the soul, I believe.
It depends on it. Honestly, it's an order of magnitude thing. It's basic. A singular soul means nothing.
Isaac's soul, however, worth something.
Thousands of souls sacrificed in the name of a god.
I actually believe my blood's worth more to necromancers than my soul is to my own god.
I mean, let's find out, shall we? Pulls out needle.
Point of fact, though, your god may not necessarily understand or know what's going on inside of his own the church right now.
Yep,
That it may
fair.
have been taken over by a doomsday cult. But
Just what I said.
either way,
Not the god.
well, for it to occur and him not knowing, there's probably a cadre of angels or something that are trying to also do the same.
I'm very
thing.
aware of it. I'm very aware.
I don't know. I'm out of the loop a little bit.
Yes. Listen, we kind of understand that Isaac's church and people very high up in his church want this to happen.
And the Autumn. Oh, and the Autumn.
Yes. So you understand? Things need to. We need to sort of stop it.
How do we stop?
Stop it. I thought you might have a plan on that point.
I killed Zagul.
Well, you can't. Zagul is a minor deity, which means she's immortal. Wall being a deity, she would need to be reincarnated into a physical body on the mortal plane for her to be killed.
Ha ha. What is a better thing
You can
for
get what she wants and then take it away from her.
But I
also
will say it needs to be.
It's already on the path of that.
I would point out though, just before you get too far ahead of the put whatever the saying is in your
Put the cart in
whatever.
front of the horse.
That one, yes. Is that even a reincarnated or a god on a mortal plane is still functionally immortal? The thing that is required is that an item, a weapon that is imbued with certain properties, it has to be used to strike down said entity. But it's different for every entity. It would have to be
What
That'd
about
be
the
a-
champion's weapons?
What about the champion's weapons who got Yaren to go away in the first place? And if they if we somehow managed to get the descendant of Yaren to become the embodiment of Zagul?
yeah, do it.
Oh,
Possibly, if you could do that, definitely. I could see that. I could see that occurring. You'd have to find it, or them,
Them is the hard part, I think.
and then you'd have to. Get there before they establish themselves in the mortal plane. They have to be there at the birthing of Zagul on the mortal plane. Because it's still a god. It's still
Because
a god.
it's still a god, and we'd also need to get there before the other gods got here and did too much damage.
You need to find out what the ritual is, what they're planning.
Well, good thing
Need to
we
find
have
out-
one of them.
They wouldn't know anything. It would be
You
it
need to
wouldn't
find
be their
out what
army. That would be their clerics. It would be their priests.
It would
It would
depend
be
on.
forward.
It would be.
Do you
what,
remember when we fought him the first time? my magic did less damage to him, and he made a quip about himself being chosen.
Oh, yes, you're right, yes. He was one of the Allmother's chosen, was what he said.
And the All-Mother, we found out, is the name that he gives a Gould.
Oh, boy.
We need to capture Volred. And we need to find the weapons of the hero. Of the hero, the
champions.
The champions. That's the one.
Conquerors, champions.
Getting confused by my own campaign, huh?
But you would need to figure out also specifics of the ritual, because it's different for every god. A ritual for Pelor would be sunlight, light, all of that. Well, you'd have to figure out what the
I would
sacred
expect it
aspect.
to be
Well,
murder
we know...
of at least one very important person or many less important people. But if
Wait.
someone she's
That's what they were
truly
after
got
the prince
revenge
for.
against,
What if that's
Wait.
what your vision was of?
You saw Zagul's embodiment kill the prince.
What if that's what you saw? The High Prince is still out there. We know Volred
Is
didn't
he?
get him.
Yes.
We think so.
Yeah, and I've been out of the loop.
It's fair.
It's fair. We've had a rough couple of
I
days.
saw
as
a
well.
lot of burning down south when I left. It was.
We were tasked. I'm not sure we should. Actually, no. Bosh, you're coming with us. If we do go to find the.
Am I?
Hey, you
if
want
we-
to... You can
I-
imagine the
I will
theories you
pay
could
you.
write about the champions. Imagine that.
And I'll
The
pay
papers,
you.
man. I
we'll
will pay
clear
you.
out everything and then come and get you. But if you come to the site with us, I
Right.
think
I'm not
you-
good to
You-
fight.
Yeah, no. It's more of a. Is you'll come with us to where we think the hero's tomb is. We'll clear things out, then we'll come get you, kind of thing.
You're our advisor.
All right, I can do that.
Plus, you'd get to possibly find the tomb of the conquerors.
Honestly, this has just been burrowing a hole in my head for the last 2 days. I just needed to tell somebody that understands. This has been. You ever had that? It's just an idea. You can't get it out of your head. You gotta say it aloud.
Yeah, I've got that before.
So
Hey.
here's okay. Brainwave. So
Brain blast.
Brain blast. God
all
damn
of
it.
the embodiment of vengeance. What another better way to strike her down than the person that rebuffed her vengeance? He then looks at Rivallon.
I said I was going to kill her years ago.
A year ago, actually, almost.
Yeah.
Almost. I would think that would also have some, as you were saying, numerical weight towards the banishment of said god. If it was someone who rebuffed her, she's got a vengeance, and someone who felt vengeance and was a pawn of hers that rebuffed her was the one to strike her down.
Possibly, I don't know. The numerology thing was kind of just a shot in the dark. I'm theorizing at this point.
So you make it.
There is physical and spiritual weight to an individual who has rebuffed the progresses of a god of a specific feeling that they have. And I believe Isaac is on the right trail there.
It was never going to be anyone but Rivallon. We
No.
all knew this.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Congratulations, Rivallon. You get to be known as the God Slayer.
Technically, I would say multiple in your party actually would fit the principle that you're going for there. Rivallon directly for that. You, Isaac, because you are part of a cult.
Not
that.
Okay.
Sesh just giggles when he says that.
It's cults in the fact that what is the difference between an organized religion and a cult? The paper, or is this the fact that
Why
I'm
I was
turning-
more talking about the Doomsday cult variety and the fact that you
chose
is
not
that
to
the
join
leaders
that.
of your
did choose not to?
it's
I suppose that kind of counts if they're trying.
You are
to-
rebuffing her.
Sesh, you have some relation to this, given the fact that they desecrated one of your people's temples and a holy site for it.
I did also meet Bahamut. That was a thing.
Yes, that's surprising, but sure. Ustenia, you, because if the way you told me, your father was killed by one of these people, possibly. through poison. And Mog, I have no idea.
I'm new here. I'll find a reason.
Hey, hey, Mo. What if the trading
You
family?
want to share my reason? You want to join the cult?
I'm a warlock. I'm probably already in a cult.
That's fair. That's fair.
I was about to say, what if the whole the family that your brother works for, their ship went down? Maybe that was whole. They faked it because they're actually helping fund the invasion, and by trying to save your brother, you are also.
That's a good riff. I hope the leader or the creator of this world doesn't just take that wholesale.
Just looking up at the sky, we all just like go from talking to each other, just going.
You just hear ethereal. You just hear an ethereal. just somebody scratching it down on a piece of paper. Just
Hear an ethereal, just that's a good idea, and then
just fund the invasion,
writing it down frantically on a piece of paper.
Saving your brother, therefore rebuffing the traits of the vengeance, because instead of vengeance, you are turning vengeance into saviorism.
into mercy.
Either way, I'm gonna go pass out now.
Okay.
Have a good night.
If anything, he's just came in and made us have much more of an existential crisis than we were already having.
Just all of it at the same time. It's perfect, man. Couldn't be better. I love it.
I'm going for a walk.
I'm going for a drink. Pulls out a bottle of rum.
So there, Isaac is now going. So the angels, the Otten might be working with the Doomsday cult, because I know Asamars are few and far between. But if there is other Asamar within the church, which is relatively likely in terms of religion, they could be there.
I hand Isaac a glass of rum.
Am I in a cult? I think I'm in a
Rivallon
cult.
just closing his eyes with a big smile on his face.
But then the Otten could be the divine guardian. But they became my divine guardian. What's to say they're not the divine guardian of someone else, and therefore
I'm in a
they
cult.
already.
I just handed Isaac a glass of rum, and he's just sitting there like talking.
Isaac is the sit there and gone no, and then pulled out a bottle of wine and just go.
He's not a big fan of the sweet things.
Oh, that's such a Terry Darrington thing.
I've just met him. I love him.
Darren.
No. Would you like some beer, Terry? No. I'd like some wine.
I would like some wine.
Oh dear lord. So.
Let's figure it out on your own, guys. What do you want to do?
Yeah. By the way, guys,
I
I'm
ain't
happy to
there.
pay Bosch out. I'm happy to pay Bosch out on my own money.
Okay. So I think we've sort of learned at this point that on the way north we stop off and do Rivallon's personal quest.
That's the furthest north.
That's the furthest north.
Okay, we go to the light blue quest marker first.
Yes. And then we go to the green one. Yeah.
The thing is, probably the closest will be Moggs if we can nail down a location, which she can do magically. Hopefully, maybe she might be able to get some clues. We also know where there are skydocks in this area. I believe, Roach. We knew that there was a skydock in. Was it Hell's?
In the capital of the Arthurian Empire.
Oh, the Arthurian, which is okay. So that's the
Doesn't want
furthest.
to do hers at the moment.
That's the one right on the border with the country you're in currently.
Mog's personal
Austin-
quest is currently grayed out because she's not willing to do it right now. Stretch
Well,
rival.
if it's on the
She's
way,
scared
we
of
may
it.
as well do it. Because it means that Mog gets some closure.
Yes, that's true. If we find out it's on the way, then I still think it's worth Mog checking.
That's fair, yeah.
I can check.
I think Mog should. And Isaac will, when she comes back, so I'm going to let her have her moment of she needs to walk. She can walk. But I will tell her I know you always check, but tonight, check especially. Because. But I think the supposed region where the Tomb of the Conquerors is actually the closest thing, because that was suspected to be in the Tri-River area of Osnia, which is where also the capital of Osnia is. But then it would be further back because of the mountains. So it's we've got a path to follow there, and the Arthuritis Empire is above that, and that's where the border of Osnia could be where Rivallon's from. But he knows that it was Arthurian Empire. The guy, the butcher,
the traitor.
bastard. Yeah, and then Mog is further. Mog's family is possibly further north. For how long we don't know. So it's that in terms of tier, and closest is essentially our most important goal right now. But that also could change once we spoke to Vogue, because he might know where the High Prince is.
And we've still got to interrogate that prisoner, and
there's a good chance they need the High Prince to do this.
I've got to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Bye.
Work out whatever this is.
Yeah,
okay. So, I can still cast Sending. I could cast Sending and ask Vogue what his ETA is, see if he's on the way here, or if he is still at the fortress.
Yeah.
I can cast it a few more times and say to him, hey, do you want us to leave the prisoner here for you? Do you want us to stay? Or do you want us to...
No one's going to have tongues here. We need to stay.
Yeah.
We need to be the thing.
Shit.
We need to find out if we're going to get money at all, because...
We need to be paid.
Yeah. We can ask him that. We can ask him, where are you? Will we be getting paid?
Vogue's been paying this all out us recently out of his own cash.
Yeah.
And I'm not...
I like Vogue.
As a party, I know that you guys want paying, like, in terms of, you feel like we need it justifiably, but if it's about survival that we need pay, I still have over 4,000 gold.
Mog needs some stuff. I don't have decent armor, apart from my chestplate.
Apart from the chestplate that stops you from getting crit, which has been
it's
very
not even
helpful.
+1.
It is.
No,
counts
my
as a
armor's
+1.
not +1.
Shade. Yeah, it counts as a +1 plate.
It counts as a +1.
Yeah.
It's adamantine.
Adamantine counts as +1.
It just stops crits as well, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it... probably adding +1. Actually,
I've got
AC of 17.
Yeah, because I've got a +1 plate on an armor and an AC of 15 with 20 with shield. Yours was definitely, because there was an armor about who has what, and we gave that to you because it was the better one, and I kept my shittier.
And Sesh wants to get magical weapons. She wants to upgrade her shield to get magical weapons. That's her two things. And there's no way in hell Isaac can fund all of that himself.
God, no.
Now,
but also...
I know that we don't want to force Vogue into giving us every single penny he has left, because that's not fair to him.
He needs to run an army.
Yeah, he needs to run an army, do all that shit. That's cool. But we do
as
need
much
some
as we
funds.
can't fight on the front lines, we also want them to, against Isaac's better judgment that he wants to save as many people as possible, but against his that as a pragmatic stance, we need them to delay this fucking army as much as possible while we complete other things.
Yeah, they are the delaying action right now. We need to go do shit.
Well, when we go and talk to Vogue, we need to take Bosch with us.
Yes.
So Bosch is on retainer. Bosch, what would be an adequate price for Bosch per day?
He's a highly intelligent, well trained historian. At least a gold.
Yeah, but he's very sound in his luck. So gold is. I reckon I can get him cheaper.
Yeah, but he's a friend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking a gold a day.
So that means you can fleece him as much as you want.
Yeah, I was getting paid $1.50 a day as a regular town guard. He'd probably be getting $1 or $2 a day as a highly trained, well-regarded historian. So a gold is cheap for him.
Okay, I'll pay him at the end. It's fine.
All right.
I'll
so
work out.
are we okay then with me sending another message to Vogue and asking him, where are you? What's your ETA to get to the camp? And then we can talk to him personally about money, because we can say to him, hey, we know you're tight on funds.
Hey, we're broke as shit. So
Well, everybody but Isaac. Everybody but Isaac is broke as shit.
Your average. If I look at your party sheet, you still have in the bank, not in the bank, but just among yourselves, you've got almost 3,000 gold pieces split amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I have 0 of those, Roach.
440 platinum pieces.
Yeah, I've got 40.
That's all me.
No,
I've got 0 of them. I've got 0 of them.
I have exactly 400 platinum pieces.
Yeah, and 40 of those are Rivallon. So
And that's
if
not
I'm looking,
30 in the party sheet.
yeah, it does look like Ustenia has the lowest amount of gold that has gold.
He has half
'cause
plate now. That is why.
Yeah, because you have 174 gold pieces in the bank.
Yep.
For yourself.
I have
I
0
have
platinum,
almost-
0 GP.
Mog has almost 2,000 gold pieces by herself.
I have 0 gold pieces, 0 platinum pieces, 5 Illyrium, 5 silver, and 300 copper because I bought a church. Thanks
have
for the help
0
on that,
gold.
Isaac.
Yeah, I gave you all my gold pieces. I have 0 gold pieces. I have a lot of platinum.
Can you break this platinum piece? He says to the random shopkeep.
Just snaps it in half.
That's what you would do.
So, all right, you take like take off knives,
Shaving it, yeah.
Shave a bit off.
Yeah. No, listen, I
So-
don't know. I think so. Are we confirming that I'm going to send him a message, ask him what his ETA is, so we know how much
Yes.
longer we
Are you
have
doing
to
it
wait?
tonight, or are you
Mog
doing it in the
says she'd
morning
say
after you
yes.
sleep?
I'm doing it now.
Well, he'll be asleep right now. If we got woken up in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do it in the morning. Do it in the morning. And next thing is we're keeping Bosch on retainer because he's a good guy. We like him. He's very intelligent.
He rolls better than us on the knowledge checks.
True. The next thing is then
G than us.
yeah.
Truth.
The next
By the way,
thing
you
is
got a
then
nat-
we're going.
He got a natural 20 on his daily daily study check that I make
Nice.
him roll just to see if
Nice.
he uncovers any new information to give you guys.
He's like what, +9, isn't he? As well.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, that man's got some big brain. Anyway, so then the next thing is we're gonna when Bosch gets when not Bosch is already here. When Vogue gets here, we're going to interrogate the prisoner, and then we're going to say to Vogue directly, hey, if you could funnel some funds, we need to get paid because some of us are pretty poor and we need some funding to go do some work. We need some funding to go out and figure shit out because we have theories.
We have a
That-
theory that will possibly end all of this.
Yeah, we have a theory that we know what they're trying. That we believe that they are trying to do something here to cause the end of the world. Essentially,
Don't use the words "end of the world."
they're going to try and.
We think we know why they're here and how we can stop them.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. We think we know.
We think we know what they're
why-
doing. All hope is lost.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes,
we don't know what they're
correct.
doing. They're coming to end the world.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
doing
and
that.
these
yes.
immediately, even though it's they're being invaded, going to go. Okay, that's a big leap from just an invasion.
That's true. So
Even
yeah,
for
we
you
think we know
guys.
why they're. We think we know why they're here, and we have an idea on how to stop it. And we're going to say, listen, if you can funnel some funds in to us, great. If you can't, you've done enough for us as it is. We're going to bring up our tab with your government eventually. Like, here's our tab, bitch. Boom.
Hey, if
Oh,
we
for a
said
second I
the-
thought you meant like tab in a game. It was just like there's a big red notification button thing on that tab. It's just like, no, keep ignoring it. The quest won't go forward if I keep ignoring that part.
Yep.
If we end up saving the world, there's golden statues of us everywhere, and we can just
Oh,
take
yeah.
one and melt.
Melted down. I vote we take Ustinia's one. No, we'll take my one because it's the biggest.
No, we'll take our ones.
Because he's been forgotten at this point. Who is he again? Anyway, moving on.
He's,
So,
he's,
love you,
I think
Crimson.
he's in like Tarkova or something like that, just T-posing in the corner.
Yeah, I think so.
He was going out to the east and he was working on things, trying to figure out, but that was the exact wrong direction for him to
Yep.
go to find information. But that's where you guys thought you were going to be going next. So
Yep. Anyway,
that ahead of you guys got
so-
a big reputation over there, but nobody's seen you. They just heard about you.
yep. So what we're doing is I'm sending in the morning.
Sending.
Then from there we're going to do our investigation. We're going to do our interrogation when he gets here. Ask about Cash directly, and then we're going to fuck off to get the champions' weapons and do all that sort of stuff. Up north.
God, I hope there's a bow in there.
It was a sword and a
So-
shield, I think.
Sword
Or spear and
staff.
shield. Staff.
Why can't
Thank you.
You can use a sword.
you head
Very bad.
head back to sleep. I'm going to say you get a full rest.
Mog comes
Because-
back.
Hi, Mog.
She avoids everyone. Goes to sleep.
All right. You get a full rest. I'll say you didn't get interrupted enough for the full rest not to apply. True. And when you wake up in the morning, there is a buzz in the camp. You hear General Vogue arrived in the wee hours of the morning and is in the medical tent.
I immediately run to the medical tent.
All right. When you arrive there, you are told that Vogue is currently in surgery.
I immediately go into the surgery room. I don't give a shit. I push people out of the way. I get the fuck out of my way.
You need to be sterile, man.
Cleric of life coming through!
Excuse me, motherfuckers.
Loads
the
up a
bitch
cure
might need
wound. Loads up a high-level cure wounds. Just do, clear!
Oh, fuck. I can do a level 6 cure wounds. I'm going!
Excuse me, sir. Yeet.
Actually, no.
Healthy.
I'm going to be there
days
for
is-
sure because I can make you re-roll shit. God, I with my life.
Yep.
Giver. I can make
Yep.
you re-roll hit.
No, you don't go there on your own. That's just carrying. It's like pulling
Yes,
them
fine. Come on then, shitbag. Let's go.
buy the pendant. It's just-
I have... no, there's a religious artifact.
By the breastplate. Just boom. Let's go.
It's like being
So,
dragged by a nail through cross. Like, no!
Yeah. So you arrive. You see General Hazlitt Vogue, who is indeed critically wounded, on the table. He seems to have taken a lot of slashing wounds to his extremities. Those seem to not be the point of the surgery right now. Those have actually started to heal over a little bit. Instead, it is a wound from one of their nefarious musket weapons, which struck his gut at one point.
As the
And
projectile
he-
left the body.
Yeah, I'll check all that. I'm like, move out of the way, and I immediately start working.
Give me a medicine check.
I'm just there. I'm going to be like ready that if she needs me while she's hands
great.
in.
Do I re-roll that? Isaac,
So,
not great, but it's also not terrible.
It's a 4.
I'm not going to make you...
Okay.
I can...
13 is pretty okay. 13 is more than average.
all right,
It's fine.
you begin cleaning the wounds to figure it out. You begin cleaning the wounds, and you do pass the check to be able to find out that no, the projectile has not left his body. It did not go through. It's instead stuck somewhere in his gut. And by the looks of this has been a wound he has been suffering from for at least more than a day.
So
at this
infection.
point.
Okay. So Sesh is going to very surgically attempt to remove the musket ball.
All right. So, how are you going to go about this?
She reaches into her medical bag, which she has.
I just imagine it's one of those stereotypical like leather ones for doctors that cut and make house.
Oh,
calls
it's
in
like
the
the
old times.
like the Hunt Showdown ones where they just fold
Yeah,
it
yeah,
out. It's
yeah.
like-
To fold it out like a leather pad.
You got that little reflective disc on your head on the band.
No, she's just got like light cast on the band she's got between her eyes. That one. She's like,
Okay.
"Boop," gone.
Oh,
Anyway,
So,
so she pulls out a set of syringes. No, sorry, not syringes. Scalpels and
Well,
medical tools and stuff.
long pincers.
Yes, and immediately starts to try and remove this thing
If
from
you
his
didn't
gut.
have those, I've got some in my calligraphy set. Like,
Tweezers, but also huge.
What
Usually
kind of
black
human
ones are
being
sterilized.
carries pincers with them?
Who said I was a human?
That's a sharp quote from Patrick from Patrick Harper when he had his tooth removed
Yeah.
in one episode.
I take them from dead frogs.
No, I just love that line from Harper. It's just like, what kind of human being carries pincers with him?
Takes his teeth out.
Kinda,
I take them from dead frogs.
yeah. The funny thing is, Fredrickson talks clearer without the teeth in because the actor's wearing false teeth in front of
Yeah.
his regular teeth. It's like, you talk clearer now, buddy. You can't even put it
Yeah.
on.
Okay, so I'm
I need
attempting
you to make
this.
a medicine check.
Oh no, that's a reroll.
No!
Please.
Reroll.
Yeah, I'm gonna force a reroll on that one. Fuck that.
Slip and
Much better.
That's better.
slip and slice his spine open. Just to make it against it.
It's okay, we got diamonds.
Okay. All right.
Like to bring him back from the dead.
Are you willing to spend 500 gold pieces to
It's
get
300
Vogue back?
gold.
300 gold pieces to get
Wait,
Vogue back, so that he may pay you money in the future.
I mean, hey, if this motherfucker's dead, then we're
I
not
don't
getting
know
any
if he's
gold.
going to be paying us for
We'll
that.
put it on the tab.
So you spend some time. You spend some time getting pincers in there, and finally you feel a metallic on metallic clink as you find the musket ball that has deformed as it struck a lower rib going in, and you have taken it out. This is like this slightly pancaked ball, but it didn't shatter.
I just put it on like a table next to me, like,
Yeah.
Alright.
Clink. It's got
and then
a
I pull out my
metallic.
holy symbol, and I cast. How much? What's?
I mean, I can pump him with 7d8 heals.
I was just
Right.
thinking of using.
Technically, you should have done that without taking the ball out. You could
Yeah,
just-
but then
because
he's
then it
in
would have
spite
been
of him.
in the body.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
We're just preventing him from having.
he would have had a good 10, 20 years before the lead poisoning set in.
Yeah, but that's a bad idea.
Do you want to cast the disease one, just in case?
Yeah,
it
I'm going to
doesn't-
use Lesser Restoration to remove any early onset infection.
I don't think
it
there's
removes-
anything I can make you roll for that. It just
It's literally
happens.
just
It's
gone.
magic.
That's it.
It's fucking magic.
Magic, bro.
I can't wait. I can't wait for when we play a game that doesn't have magic. You guys actually have to roll for healing and shit.
It'll be terrible. I hate it. But anyway, you don't. I don't think Isaac needs to use his big heal. I will use one of my. I will use my medicine heal. So my my actual just healer heal. At the moment, and just see how that works out.
I mean, I can pump him full of 11 hit points as well, just innately with healing hands.
How many hit dice does he have? 'Cause this
How many
matters.
hit dice does Vogue have?
Yes.
He is a level 7 fighter who is a cavalier.
So you need to take off 4 hit dice. Sorry, 4 hit points healed from this because I have it down for 11 because I usually use it on my friends.
Okay, so 4 hit points less than what you roll now.
So he heals 16
1.
instead of 20.
Okay, 16.
And I will give him a further 11, just because I
So-
can.
27.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 27 hit points, which does not get him away from bloodied, because he has actually fairly high rolls for his
Oh.
I mean, I
his.
if you really
I
want
will
to,
then
and then just go 7d8.
But he doesn't need to not be bloodied for him to not be almost dead. So
I will hit him with a level.
It's alive. He needs to pay for the rest.
I will hit. No, nah. I'm just gonna hit him with I'm gonna hit him with a level 3 cure wounds just to get him back off his feet. So 23 more hit points.
Okay, yeah, he's back. He's back at that point.
You just healed Isaac.
Yeah,
Nice.
because it's targeting him.
Oh, okay.
He's got to target somebody, I think, for it to work or something. But it doesn't matter. Isaac wasn't damaged, so it doesn't necessarily matter.
For healing.
Yeah. So you spent. I'm gonna say this takes an hour of your time in the morning to do this. Most of it was just getting the ball out. The rest of it was just heal, and then it's done.
Yeah, the last 20 seconds was the actual healing. The rest of it.
Yeah.
The rest of it was actually just removing the ball, making sure everything was clean.
And Vogue just goes from being barely conscious and almost dead to just.
Morning, Sleeping Beauty. I prop him up. I prop him up and hand him a glass of rum. Here, you'll need this.
Just a very Jon Snow reaction coming back.
Yeah, I prop him up and then I hand him a glass of alcohol.
No.
Ow.
Water. You give him alcohol, it thins the blood.
Give him water. He's not bleeding anymore. Is the thing.
Still thins the blood.
I suppose I have you to thank for this.
I mean, I wasn't
Agony.
gonna let you
This.
die.
I'm glad. I haven't. I'm glad. It just takes
And she picks up like the little musket ball. That was
no,
lodged below your
I'm
ribs.
good. I'm good. You can throw that out. Actually, you
That
know
was
what?
lodged below your ribs.
Keep that with you. Throw it away when you're a couple miles away. Next time you go somewhere, just drop it as far away from me as possible. I don't want to
Got
see
it.
that again.
You're a very lucky man, Vogue. That could have hit your diaphragm. You would have been killed.
We told you to make it back to camp, but we kind of hoped it would be in a bit of better shape.
You and me both. You and me both. That ambush on the road caught us so by surprise. I didn't think they got that far north.
Everything's gone. Need a minute?
I'm good.
How about a week?
Because it is the end of the session.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just ends with Vogue just going, I'm good.
Okay, so join us next week for the stunning. I don't want to say it's a conclusion.
For the stunning
because-
beginning of this scene.
Yeah, getting the scene and getting the answers. Well, we got a big knowledge dump there from Bosch, the man we at the last
Somebody
minute.
needs to give you information eventually.
At the last minute, I thought mid-invasion, could I have gone back the day before and told him to get out the city? I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad that Roach allowed that. But yes, join us next week for the next part of Sleeping Giants Reborn. As always, thank you to Commissar Roach for DMing and writing this campaign. You can get him at youtube.com/Commissar Roach. I'm, of course, joined by Utari Onzo and Shulioni Mikey. You can get those respective names on twitch.tv/those respective names. And as always, the lovely duo that is Rival Zone Gaming and Red Moogle, because he asked I changed around which one I said first last week.
Well, no, it's Red Moogle and Rival, right?
It doesn't flow off the tongue as nice, but I'll do it for him. You can get them at youtube.com/Rival Zone Gaming and the same for Twitch. And I, of course, have been Midgeman. You can find me at twitch.tv/Midgeman or youtube.com/The Midgeman's World. But we will see you next week, same time. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.